Intro.
Lights are on. The field is lined. Let's do this, Tuscaloosa. This is Hillcrest Football on the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network. Now, Brent Jones, Brad Armstrong, and the Hillcrest Student Broadcast crew on the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network.
And welcome to Bessemer, Alabama, where the Hillcrest Patriots will be taking on the Bessemer City Purple Tigers. And we are ready for some big action here tonight. Brent Jones, Brad Armstrong, and Brian Pirano, and our whole crew here with you tonight, ready to bring you this Class 6A Region 4 contest. And guys, we got a little bit of an unexpected misty shower here tonight. We're getting all set up here with our expensive equipment, and no sign of rain from the forecast, and all of a sudden it starts misting. So, thanks to Mr. Brad Armstrong and his handy-dandy tent, ran out to his car, got his tent, set it up, and we're all good now.
Well, I keep that thing in there for special occasions.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Coming in handy. And, of course, now that we have it set up and we're under this tent, the rain has stopped.
No, well, it certainly looks like it's misting.
You think it's still misting a little bit?
Yeah,
okay.
it's in the dark.
Yeah, and I see other people with their
dark.
umbrellas up. So, yeah, okay. All right, well, I guess this was the good thing to do. All right, guys, so, okay, coming off the big win against Central last week, that was more of a scare. I mean, you never really felt uncomfortable like we were going to lose the game. But when we're only up 14-7 at halftime, we're only up 21-14 near the end of the third quarter, you start thinking, what's going on, right?
Yeah, and it did feel like, the keys of the victory. Every week you ask Brian and me, what are the keys to victory?
Yeah.
And the thing is, Brian and I have talked about this so many times, it feels like the same keys to victory for us and the other team.
Right.
We always say things like sell out, like for the other team, that is. For the opponent. They need to sell out. They need to try to keep the ball away from us. They need to do special, some sort of trick play, go for it on special teams.
Big chunk plays,
yes,
right.
Trick plays, anything like that. Well, what did Central do? They ran a fake punt for a first down. It was successful.
Right.
It elongated the drive for them, which is something you have to do. They also scored on a chunk play. So those two things allowed Central to obviously make it a really good game in the first half. Now, things trend. It's very difficult to beat a good football team over 4 quarters of play. And so I think ultimately it just led to Hillcrest kind of distancing themselves as we expected. And but Central, look, I said this to somebody else. Central's offensive line, I thought, was probably one of the better offensive lines we've played all year.
For sure.
Obviously, 14 points is the most that we've given up all year. 38 points total for the Hillcrest Patriots all year, and 14 of those were scored by the Falcons last weekend.
That's right. And also 12 of those given up by the second and third team defense.
Well, true. And the other thing, remember,
but that's still part of the team.
Well, but one of those touchdowns, remember, that Hillcrest gave up last week against Central was off of a turnover where Central took over something like around the Hillcrest 17-yard line. So anytime you can begin at the opponent's in red zone already and you haven't even taken a snap, then that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, obviously Central capitalized, which is what you'd want a good football team to do. But, hey, those Central Falcons are fighting for a playoff spot. They take on Northridge tonight. I don't think they're a bad football team at all. It just so happens Hillcrest, I think, is probably just a better team.
True. And, Coach Mitchell and I talked about this this week as we did all of our shows together. We talked about how it's good for the team to face a little bit of adversity, to have that only one touchdown lead at halftime, that one touchdown lead late in the third quarter, and be facing a little bit of tension there, because if you win every game by 40, 50 points, you just cruise along and you don't really develop as much as you should.
At some point, and we've talked about this ad nauseum, I mean, all of us have, I think. Coaches, fans, administrators, whatever, right? We all, Coach P and I discussed this. Coach Patterson and I discussed this. At some point, we're going to run into a team that punches us in the mouth and scores a really good drive, not just a chunk play, but a 9-play, 4.5, 5-minute drive where we're kind of like, ooh, dang, that's pretty good. And then what will this defense do? Will they respond, or will they be like, gosh, we've never been punched before, now we're like glass jaw here, and it's over? So at some point, they're going to get punched in the mouth, and we obviously want them to get punched in the mouth, and we want to see them get back up. Whether they do that or not is still to be determined, I think.
Right. And here tonight, the Patriots looking to go 8-0 on the season, and also what I guess it would be 4-0, 5-0.
They're already 4-0. It'd be 5-0.
5-0.
Yep.
5-0 in the region, and this is Bessemer City's homecoming game. Oddly enough,
wow,
we're playing against homecoming. As you see the ceremony going on the field. If Donald can get a shot, I know he's had a shot of that earlier. The ceremony going on the field with all the senior players being introduced and escorted by their loved ones, and the purple and white balloons abound everywhere. But it looks like a lot of people stayed at home for homecoming.
I believe it's senior night, not homecoming.
Is it senior night?
That's what Coach Mitchell said. That's what he said.
Okay.
I believe homecoming happened either last week or 2 weeks ago.
Gotcha.
Nonetheless, you can see a lot of players, cheerleaders. I'm not sure if band members are over there or not, but in fact, to me, the home bleachers look to be about 10 times more full than they were 2 years ago, with 20 people over there now. So,
right.
Yep.
Right.
It's pretty good. I agree.
Okay. I kind of like this. Is kind of cozy here under this tent and on the visitor side. It's comfortable and
compared to last week, another big word I'd use is quiet.
Quiet.
Man,
yes. Last week we were literally about 10 feet from the speaker.
If that. You're
and
exactly
when
right.
I say literally, I mean the true sense of the word.
Correct.
Literally 10 feet from that blasting PA speaker.
That
to
me is
quite
fantastic,
an experience
because I can actually hear you too and not threaten
it's nice.
loss of hearing.
It's nice.
Anytime we've used this tent and been outside, I think we've all enjoyed the experience. You know, being outside is fine with me. It's a little bit cooler than being in a press box sometimes. And as long as our power and internet is available, then, let's do it.
Agreed. I like it. Okay. All right, guys, we were talking about things that Jamie Mitchell had to say about this team, this game, this week. Let's find out more, and let's go to the Coach Jamie Mitchell pregame show. So we'll take a break, and when we return, Coach Jamie Mitchell and the pregame show will be here. This is the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network.
55 years of blood, sweat, and tears, we rolled into one. And hand tossed in a homemade sauce. Well, they did something nobody's done. It's a late night itching, a game day tradition. It's Sunday after church. From Tennessee to Florida, Mississippi to Georgia, we keep putting our chicken first. And it's golden fried, made with pride. It's the chicken people speaking since 65. It's Guthrie's chicken.
Serving the University of Alabama alumni, students, and fans since 1939, Bama Stuff is the perfect place for all your Bama merchandise needs. They have a large selection of Nike official on-field apparel, as well as everything you need for the perfect game day experience. Come see our exclusive in-house designed Bama apparel and souvenirs to help you stand out. Located on the heart of the Strip on University Boulevard, in the shadow of Bryant-Denny. They're open 7 days a week, or shop online anytime at BamaStuff.com. Bama Stuff is proud to be UA alumni and veteran owned and operated. Patriot Nation, it's definitely worth your while to make the short trip down 69 South to Tammy's Salon. Tammy's is located in Moundville on Highway 69, just down from Family Dollar. They offer men's, women's, and kids' haircuts, color and highlight services, perms, and facial waxing. Friendly customer service and great cuts and color at very affordable prices are what you'll find at Tammy's. Come support the salon in Moundville that supports the Pats. Tammy's Salon. Hello and welcome to the Coach Jamie Mitchell pregame show. Coach Mitchell, big win over Central, 49-14. Continue with the team being undefeated in Region 4 and overall for the season. Talk about that game for just a moment.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. We want to continue the dominance in Tuscaloosa, and that's important to our kids, probably maybe more so than our coaches. But you always like to defend your backyard, and we've been really good at that in Tuscaloosa, and really a good win over a stubborn Central team.
Mm-hmm. All right, and going into Bessemer City, next game on the slate. Bessemer City is an improved team, though, as you've been telling me. Tell me about them.
They really are. We went up there 2 years ago, and just they were just as bad of a struggling program as you could see. And Well, 2 years later, it's a big improvement, So they've got some high-end players that are playing very well. They beat McAdory earlier in the year, and McAdory is always a really strong program. So, it's a game that we are fully expecting to have to compete at a high level in, and they've just improved in every facet: offense, defense, special teams. It doesn't even look like the same team that we went up there 2 years ago and played. So we're looking forward to that, and hopefully we'll play great football, clean up some mistakes from last week, and put on a good show.
You talked about mistakes from last week. What are some specifics that you're going to be focusing on this week that you noticed in the game film last week?
Well, for the first time in about 4 weeks, we went back to some pre-snap penalties. We had some false starts, we had some bad snaps. Those things are drive killers, and those are things that you control. It's not a post-snap penalty, so we've got to eliminate those. We can't give up the big play on defense, which we did last week, and there's always room for growth. I can promise you that. So, that's part of coaching. We got to continue to challenge our team in areas that we think that we've got to keep the weeds out of the garden with.
All right, and you talk about Bessemer City being improved. Tell us some specifics that we can look for from that.
Yeah, I think they've got a couple of really good running backs, and they've got some outstanding young talent. They've got a defensive tackle that's an outstanding young player. He's just a sophomore. And, they've got a freshman that actually starts for them on defense, about 6'5" and about 240. And, they're young and explosive players. And, it's good to see, teams in our region continue to get better, because when that happens, we're going to get better. And, they've done a good job of settling in scheme-wise on what they want to do. They want to run the football, and that's what they want to do and hang their hat on that. But they also throw the ball down the field vertically a good bit, so it'll be a great challenge for us.
All right, sounds good. Can't wait. Next one on the docket.
That's right. The last two will be at home, so we're excited about that as well.
Sure. All right, thanks for joining us. Welcome back to Bessemer, Alabama, and Bessemer City High School. Brent Jones, Brad Armstrong, Brian Perrano, Idiana Wiggins, Donald Falls, and Baker Jones. We have a full staff here tonight ready to bring you all of this action. Coach Jamie Mitchell, as always, lots of interesting things to say. I've really enjoyed talking to Coach Mitchell every week in the Hillcrest Football Review and at the Hillcrest Huddle and the Jamie Mitchell pregame show. He's always so open to sharing anything you want to know. He is an open book, and one of the things that really impresses me about him is that he speaks the truth about his opponents to his teams. If there's a team that they're not expecting to give them much competition, he'll say, "I really don't expect much competition from them, but that shouldn't affect you." And I think that's why he does that. He's trying to teach them the lesson that it shouldn't matter whether your opponent has shown much on the field before you meet them or not. You should play the same football game either way. Oh, sorry. Let me turn y'all on here.
It's okay. No, definitely. And, Coach Mitchell's been doing this a very long time, and, he's probably learned some of those lessons the hard way, Brent, where if you're not honest with your team, eventually you start to lose them. They understand. They've watched the film. They've seen these things. So It's good for Coach Mitchell to preach to these kids to worry about what they can control and kind of let the chips fall where they may as far as who we're playing.
Certainly not a sugarcoater, huh? I mean,
that's for sure, and that's a great thing if you ask me.
Well, I think it certainly can be. And look, just like Coach P said, Coach Mitchell's won a lot of games. We might have a little bit of information on that later, but for right now, won a lot of games.
Yeah, and I was telling you guys before we went on the air that I've learned a lot about the team this week. It was very interesting, especially at the Hillcrest Huddle. I did not know that the team follows a script so religiously in calling plays on offense.
Yeah, I think he follows what NFL and college teams do, right, where you're going to have a set number of plays that you're going to run early, whether it be 10, 15, 20 plays,
Not
whatever.
Just early, throughout the entire game. And then when they finish the script, they go back to the start of the script. They do, and they vary it up very little, as long as the plays are working. As a matter of fact, they said they got off the script more than they usually do, more than they ever have in the 3 years that Jamie Mitchell has been here against Central, and that's when things started going haywire, when they started just calling things off the cuff. And one of the things that we said about that is that it gives the team confidence. You know, they can play and just react because they know what to expect.
Right.
And there's not anything new thrown at them at the last second that they have to think too much about, which causes you to hesitate and make mistakes.
Remember, this football team also is led by coaches who do a lot of film study. They feel really comfortable about what they're doing.
Exactly.
Not only in the games, but at practice. So they know their players, they know their abilities. And when you are well studied, I guess, I don't know the best way to say that. Then,
well educated.
Yeah, then you certainly
I know
have,
your education prevents you from coming up with the correct words.
You're prepared, definitely prepared. And, you know, I always feel like this coaching staff and this team are well prepared for every Friday night.
Absolutely. And speaking of being prepared, let's talk about what these two teams need to do. What these two teams need to do if they are going to win tonight by taking a look at the Bama Stuff keys to victory. How about that, guys? Let's do that.
Yep, whenever you're ready.
Let's go for it. You got them?
Send those to us?
No,
Okay,
y'all send them to me.
Yep.
I know it. I just didn't know what we officially went with.
Okay.
So,
Can you pull up the Bama Stuff? You got the Bama Stuff keys to victory
Look,
pulled
for those
up?
of you listening, obviously, we talk about Bama Stuff keys to victory every weekend, or every Friday night, rather. But it depends on the game, you know. And that's one of the things that we talk about from time to time is that we feel like we have very similar keys to victory every Friday night. So what are the specific keys to victory?
Yep.
Let's see.
A couple of them things, you know, that, and I always try to talk to a couple people on the team to give them some. And something that, especially on offense, that they preached was once we find open space to do something with it, right? You know, we got a lot. You know, I think we've talked last week where maybe we feel comfortable with 9 to 10 people having the ball in their hands. But once they do find a little bit of open space, you take advantage of that. That's when you get to show maybe a little bit of that individualism that you don't get to show in that play calling, and that's your chance to make those big plays. So overall, once our offense finds the ball in open space, to do something with it.
You know, the other thing, Coach P, and you and I have talked about this a lot, I think a lot of times so far this particular season has been Groundhog Day.
Right.
You know, every Friday night, it feels like a very similar reenactment. I feel like we're, you know, maybe a little overmatched for some of these teams. The scores have not been very close, and it turns into the same keys to victory. You know, let's eliminate mistakes, find out who we are. For the other team, it's try to score on chunk plays, go for it, that sort of thing. So it's a very similar script tonight. And for Bessemer City, of course, we talked about trying to score on, you know, don't hold back, sell out, go for it. Like if you're playing tennis and you're playing Roger Federer, no point in trying to keep the ball in play because you're going to lose. So you might as well try to win points early. Well, for Bessemer City, I think they're going to need to try to score by throwing deep balls. I think they're going to need to go for it on special teams. I think are in fourth downs potentially. I think they may even need to do an onside kick or so. And then for Hillcrest, look, maintain focus. Avoid this doldrum of the season because, let's be honest, at the beginning of the year, it's very exciting. You know, oh, guys, we're ready for football. And then it turns into we're 7-0, 4-0 in region play. We're outscoring teams by 35 points a game, roughly. And then it turns into, hey, we're excited about the playoffs, but it's not the playoffs. Maintain your focus. Let's go out and win by 35, take care of business, and let's move on to the next week. And so that's clearly one of the keys to victory as well, is trying to maintain that focus tonight and for the rest of the season, for that matter.
Right, right. I agree with you completely because, you know, it's the same way with us, you know. It's always a lot of fun. That's one of the things that really makes this so much fun is when you have those good competitive games, right? Honestly, when you beat a team 55-0 every week, it kind of gets a little bit boring. One of my favorite seasons, well, and possibly my favorite season ever, was in 2020 when the SEC played 10 SEC games. Every team they played was an SEC opponent, which meant they had at least a pretty good quality opponent every single week. I wish that we had that here. in high school football.
I'll push back a little bit on that, Brett. I personally have a lot more fun when we win games 55-0 because I'm just being honest. Like, close games to me means the possibility of a loss, and I would much rather me be bored than be disappointed. Now, of course, I'd rather win a big game every now and again, but even for the team's sake, trying to play every single week, play top-notch opponents, is a lot out of our control with this region play. But I definitely understand where you're going with that, though, Brent.
Yeah, I mean, it's the drama, if you will,
Sure.
the excitement
Sure.
that makes us love the game, right? I mean, if I'm going out and I'm playing one-on-one basketball with my 3-year-old nephew, you know, it's not going to be very fun to watch and entertaining because, you know,
The 3-year-old's probably going to be.
He's going to kill me. It won't be interesting, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm kind of like Pete. I like winning too.
Yep.
So winning is fun.
True.
55-0, 21-20.
But is it really is it really worth anything? Does it have value if you're winning against teams that don't provide much competition?
Well, I guess we'll find out.
It depends.
What's going to mean more to you, a win here tonight against Bessemer City or in the third round against Saraland in the playoffs?
Oh, that's not even fair.
We got
That's
a long.
totally,
we got to get through
we
the
got a
first
long
2
way.
rounds, and
Yes.
if we can win the first,
This is just hypothetical, right?
Well, hypothetically, I'd love to go to the state championship,
why
winning
stop
every
at the
game,
third round?
55-0.
Yeah.
So, but I understand what you're saying, though, Brent. Certainly, it provides more drama, and oftentimes maybe a better show for everybody if we have throw a close game in there every now and again.
Well, you were talking about conference play too, Brent, and how you got to be focused in the SEC. You know, the other thing about conference play, let's just take, for example, this particular season. A lot of of course, Hueytown's a really good football team. We know McAdory is, and Bessemer City's been tough. Central's had a good season. But, you know, probably the best team I feel like we've played is probably Hueytown Pike Road so far.
Right.
I would agree.
Gadsden City was pretty good also.
Yeah.
And those, of course, Gadsden City, Pike Road, neither of those teams are region teams for us. So, you know, of course, in high school football, it's not like, you know, we're talking about conference realignment or anything either. So, but anyway, I'm fired up about it. Another chance to watch our Patriots play, and it's always good to have football, guys. It's a great time of year.
Absolutely, and it is time for us to rise to our feet and remove our hats as the Bessemer City Marching Band will play our national anthem. So we'll take a quick break for that, and we'll be right back right after our national anthem. All right, there you have it. The national anthem, not by the Bessemer City Marching Band, but done by the Bessemer City Choir over on the far sideline. So we are preparing now as the captains make their way out onto the field. It looks like all the seniors for Bessemer City are the captains tonight, and they have 4 that have taken the field. And Coach P, if you don't mind,
Sure.
or Brad, wherever that bag was where those headphones are, I think I am going to need those binoculars here tonight.
Cool. Real quick, I'll go through these as you're getting them. That's Jay Brown out there for us, number 7. Number 32 is going to be Caleb Hollingsworth. Number 17 for us, C.J. Buckner. And then big number 63 right there, the last captain, is Elijah Evans.
All right, number 6 for Bessemer City. And that is, if I can get to my roster here, Anthony Cook, linebacker. Number 34 for Bessemer City, Michael Drake. And let me see if I can call these other numbers through the binoculars. And Coach P, maybe you can look and see
I'm
what
a
the
little bit
rosters
blocked
are.
right now. I can't really see anything for Bessemer City. All I can see is what number is it, Coach? Mr. Jones?
34. I've already got 34 and 6. Those are the only ones I can see.
Okay.
Oh, well. There's 4 guys out there. They're captains. It's the Alabama Credit Union coin toss. Let's see if we can find out who won the toss. It looks like Bessemer City has won the toss, and they have deferred to the second half. So we'll see the Patriots on offense first here tonight. That's unusual, but hey, I like it. Let's do it.
Might as well. Look, before we get started, I don't have any scores yet, but just so you guys get an idea of what kind of games I'm watching.
Yeah, what's on the slate? Tell us.
A couple of pretty good games, and obviously several that have playoff implications as we're narrowing or heading towards the end of the season. Class 6A, we've got Mountain Brook taking on Parker, which is a really big game.
Oh, for sure.
In Class 6A, especially in that northern half.
Yeah.
As the loser likely gets an opportunity to play Clay Chalkville in the second round. The winner gets to avoid Clay Chalkville for quite some time. Central versus Northridge tonight. Bryant takes on Brookwood. Hueytown and McAdory. Briarwood versus Calera. Homewood versus Chilton County. And those games have something to do with us because potentially they're in a similar format to us, or similar track for us playoffs. West Blockton takes on ACA tonight. Hewitt, Vestavia, Hoover, and County High. Ironically, okay, now look at this. Oh, and last one, Athens and Hartselle. Let me give you a quick statistic about Hoover County High. One of those teams is 5-2. One of those teams is 2-5.
Yeah, not the ones that would usually be in those situations at this point in the season.
Of course, County High, the 5-2 team, and the Hoover Bucks at 2-5.
Hard to believe, but I still think Hoover's going to win the game.
Well,
honestly,
I do too. And Hoover coming off a huge win last week, and 50-something to now I can't remember, but it was
Chelsea, right?
Yeah, their second win of the year, and so of course that is at County tonight. So if you're there in Northport, but you're probably listening to us as opposed to them.
And what a huge game for County High tonight regarding their
huge
playoff prospects.
Well, look, and you got to figure too. I mean, let's be honest. Forget who it is and the fact that it's not like we're crazy about County High, but at the same time, they're 5-2. They've got a 2-5 Hoover. They probably are at least optimistic about their opportunities. And so even if they, don't win the game, you got to figure that they prepared for Hoover in a way that they haven't in quite some time. Don't you figure?
Absolutely, yeah. And boy, that would be a big win for them if they're able to beat the Bucks. Even if the Bucks are having a down year, it's still going to be a big win for County High to beat them. Have they ever beaten Hoover?
Yes, they have.
It has happened.
It has.
Okay,
and it was
not very many times.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure they've beaten them in the days of 7A though. I know they've beaten them prior to 7A because remember. County High. In fact, one year. In the early
back
2000s,
when I was in school.
Well, in the early 2000s, County High
won
Hoover.
state championship.
Well, that was 96-ish. Yeah, that's P's right. But early 2000s, County High beat Hoover in the regular season. Okay. And then Hoover and County High ended up matching up against each other in the playoffs.
Oh, yes, I remember
And Hoover beat County High pretty badly.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, we're almost ready for the Harwood Real Estate kickoff as the teams have taken the field. The officials, we're just waiting for them to give us the signal. Back deep for the Patriots. Boy, one of the most dangerous things, if you're an opponent of Hillcrest, one of the most dangerous things that you face is the special teams. With TJ Banks back there and also DC back there returning kicks. Those guys, like last week, I didn't see what the final number was in kickoff returns, but TJ had a 90-yard punt return for a touchdown. DC had a 60 or 70-yard return, not for a touchdown, but still. And then, of course, TJ with another punt return for a touchdown. It's just dangerous. A lot of times people take the special teams for granted. They're like, oh, they're punting. We'll get the ball back. Not always the case. Well, you do get the ball back, but unfortunately for the opponents, sometimes you get the ball back after the team scores a touchdown on a long return.
It's been a long time that we spent in the locker room before this game. It's now finally about to kick off.
All right, here we go. We're ready to play some football now. Toe to leather, and it's a squibby kick, but it's fielded nicely at the 40-yard line, as that was a dangerous one. But a great job by the Patriots, number 10, just getting on top of it. That's Jay Banks getting on top of it, and the Patriots will start off with good field position at the 40. But, that's really probably a good thing for Bessemer City to do, to avoid those long kickoff returns.
Well, not only that, but they've got to try to get extra possessions. So, worst case scenario, Hillcrest starts at the 39. Is that really a lot different than Hillcrest starting at the 19? Maybe, maybe not. But if you get an opportunity to get an extra possession, why not take the chance, right? So that's a pretty good attempt there by Bessemer City.
Sure. That was just an odd kick. It was vertical, and it was spinning, and it landed on its point.
Like a top.
It was really strange, yeah. All right, here we go. Bryson back to pass, looks over to the right side, completes it to Jamison Farley at about the 44-yard line. So that's a pickup of 5 yards on the little pass over to the right, and it'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Pats.
And, Jamison continues to show his versatility there. Pretty good job. And Bryson, of course, throws that one on target. Nicely done.
Versatility is something that you can say about so many different players on this team. So many different players play a variety of positions.
5 guys have taken a snap for the Patriots this year, Brent.
Right. Bryson Kimbrough under center this time. Here's a handoff over right guard to Jay Brown, and Jay rumbles his way into Bessemer City territory down to the 44-yard line. Nice pickup of 10, and that's enough for the first Stephen Fikes All-State first down of the night.
Brian, I'm going to ask you a question here.
Okay, I'm ready.
7-man crew. When's the last time we've been here they've had a 7-man crew?
This would be my 4th straight trip here, and I don't remember one either of the previous 3.
Doesn't it always feel like there's a 5-man crew here?
It feels like most of the time we're on the road, it's a 5-man crew.
Especially McAdory.
Bryson under center. Here's a handoff on the belly G. Straight up the middle to Jay-Sean Land over right guard. He'll pick up a couple of yards down to the 42-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
The mist not going anywhere, guys.
Yeah.
Hillcrest this week, last week, similar uniforms, but this week, Hillcrest wearing gray pants with the white jerseys and blue helmet. Last week, of course, they complemented with the blue pants.
If the mist goes, it will not be missed. See what I did there?
Yeah. Oh, I think everybody saw it.
Bryson back to pass, looking downfield, steps up into the pocket, and he will be brought down at about the 44-yard line. So a loss of about 3 there for Bryson Kimbrough on the sack, and it'll be 3rd down and 10.
Bryson had good time. Looked like he had his target. Didn't feel comfortable about throwing it, held on to it maybe a click too long. And, of course, Bessemer City took advantage. But I don't think it was a time thing. It felt like a coverage sack there. Timeout, Bessemer City.
So Bessemer City has called timeout with 9:34 remaining in the first quarter. No score yet. Tidwell Paint and Body timeout. And with that timeout, we will take a break. Back after this, this is the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network.
5 years of blood, sweat, and tears, we rolled into one. Hand tossed in a homemade sauce. Well, they did something nobody's done. It's a late night itch and a game day tradition. It's Sunday after church. From Tennessee to Florida, Mississippi to Georgia, we keep putting our chicken first, and it's golden fried and made with pride. It's the chicken people speaking since '65. It's Guthrie's chicken.
And we're back at Bessemer City High School, where the Patriots and the Purple Tigers are playing in a Class 6A Region 4 game. 9:34 remaining in the first quarter. No score as of yet. Hillcrest started out on their own 39-yard line after the little squib kick was recovered by Jay Banks. They've moved it down the field into Bessemer City territory, down to the 44-yard line of Bessemer City. But it is 3rd down and 10 for the Patriots as we come out of that timeout by Bessemer City. Hillcrest up to the ball now. Bryson Kimbrough in shotgun formation. DC goes in motion, and no, it's not Bryson. The carry on the right side by the Patriots, Caden Smith, is very close to the first down, but I think he's going to be short. Actually, they're marking him a good deal shorter than I thought. He's on the far sideline, kind of hard to see. Looks like he's about 3 yards short at about the 35-yard line.
Also a flag on the play, Brent.
Oh, yeah, I see
Looks
that.
like it's going to be a hold against Hillcrest. I haven't seen an official indication, but it was thrown at about the 42-yard line of Bessemer City.
Okay, so Bessemer City, even though they have held Hillcrest to 4th down, it would have been 4th down and about 3. They've elected to accept the penalty, which makes it 3rd down again, back in Hillcrest territory, all the way back to the 48-yard line, and that makes it now 3rd down and about 20 for the Patriots. Now Bryson Kimbrough back in the game in shotgun formation. Takes the snap, drops back, looks downfield, throws it across the middle, and it's caught at the 40, 35, all the way down to the 30, enough for the first down after the reception there by Caden Smith.
Nicely done. And look, Caden is one of those athletes that really looks the part. He's a tall, athletic-looking kid, plays wide receiver. It's sophomore, so sometimes you kind of think, okay, he's only a 10th grader, but boy, he doesn't look like a sophomore out there, Brent. Probably about 6'2", 6'3" in stature.
Yeah, contributing more and more as the season goes along. Here's a handoff around left end to Jay Brown. He spins out of one tackle but falls to the ground after a gain of about 2 down to the 25-yard line, and it'll be 2nd down and about 8.
So far, Bessemer City appears to me to be selling out on everything in the line of scrimmage. There hasn't been a ton of success so far for Hillcrest on the ground game. A lot of the yards on this drive have come through the air. Is that the game plan, especially with, the weather situation now as it is, with maybe a slippery ball?
True.
Tough to be accurate sometimes.
Whistles, as it looks like we'll probably have a pre-snap penalty here. You see a flag?
I didn't. I did hear a whistle, though.
Okay, yeah, the official indicates it's a false start against Hillcrest. So they'll back it up 5 yards, and it'll be 2nd down and 13. 8:31 remaining in the first quarter. No score as of yet. Hillcrest has had the ball the entire first quarter so far. They started at their own 39-yard line. They've moved it up to the 25 of Bessemer City. Boy, it's really hard to see from this perspective. It's hard to see the yard numbers, because we're so close to the ground level of the field. Option play, nice catch there by DC Thomas as he gets the pitch out and moves it inside the 30 and down to the 26-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd down again, 3rd and long for the Patriots. 3rd, and we'll call it about 8.
Bessemer City doing a really good job up front right now. Of course, they ran a little speed option to the far side. Bessemer City defended it very well. You got a couple of requirements to defend that. Number one, you want to take the pitch guy. Number two, you want to make sure you stop the quarterback. And I think probably the priority there is to make the quarterback pitch, especially when you got somebody to defend. And Bessemer City did a good job on that one.
Right. Only a short gain there for the Pats, relatively speaking, makes it 3rd and long. We'll call it 3rd and 9, actually. Bryson takes the snap, and he'll run it straight up the middle. He breaks free. He's inside the 20, the 15, down to the 14-yard line. So Bryson with enough for the first down after the pickup of 10. That's another Stephen Fikes All-State first down, and the Pats are in the Centel Home Design Red Zone for the first time tonight.
Now, that's just me, but based on this drive and the way it's going, we talked about script, not script. It felt like a non-scripted play to me.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm just going by what both Coach Mitchell and Coach Guy told me.
I believe you. That just felt like 3rd and 8, probably not something anticipated.
All right, here's a handoff over left guard, and into the end zone goes Jay Sean Land. 15-yard touchdown to put the Pats on the board first. 7:01 remaining in the first quarter, 6-0 Pats.
Nice drive. Remember, it started from the Hillcrest 39-yard line.
You getting that on replay there, Adiana?
And Hillcrest did a really good job driving the field. And would that have changed had they started at the 19? I don't know. But regardless, Hillcrest gets on the board first after 4 minutes and 59 seconds of clock time, and we're up 6-0. Now, one thing I noticed, guys, if you guys remember this 2 years ago, scoreboard didn't really operate.
Oh, yes, I remember that
and
well.
So this year,
The clock operator's not doing a very good job. There's been twice it's run through a timeout and then, through a first down.
The Dr. Brandy Patterson extra point attempt is up. It is good. Hillcrest extends the lead to 7-0. Go ahead with what you were saying.
No, I was
Pete.
saying there's been a couple times where he's let it run, then eventually the ball is spotted, then the ref will wind the clock, and then he'll just eventually stop it for longer than he should to catch up somehow. So I've been following it, trying to keep track of the time on the scoreboard as well, and it's been difficult at best. Let's call it that.
You know, here's the thing. It's better than 2 years ago.
You're right. You're right.
It's an improvement.
It's an improvement, but certainly not perfect.
All right, so we think the time is 7:01 remaining in the 1st
You're right,
quarter.
but it could be for the next 2 minutes, or they could kick it off with 6:52.
That's true. That's true.
And here's the Harwood Real Estate kickoff coming from the toe of Hudson Hall. Coach Mitchell also told me that Evan Williams had been having a little ankle situation, and that's why he hasn't been kicking off here lately. But Hudson kicked off very well last night. And this is another good one. Deep fielded at about the 8-yard line. Good coverage, but he breaks free, crosses the 20 down to about the 24-yard line. Goes the return man for Bessemer City, and they'll start there 1st and 10.
We've had several good gunners during our time of broadcasting the Hillcrest Patriots, but I really like Jordan Head, number 21.
Mm-hmm.
He does a really good job. He always seems to be, and I'm sure he's not alone. It just, for some reason, Jordan always kind of stands out to me as somebody who ends up around the ball. I think I've called his
You
name
always
out.
take note of the gunner. That's
I
one
know
of your favorite things.
Maybe so. I just find their pursuit and, the aggressiveness of those guys to be pretty good. And I think he does a really good job.
All right, the quarterback is number 1, who is not on our roster. How about that?
What? What?
And he
Well,
takes
we're
the
giving
snap
him a
and
name.
handoff and a short gain, maybe about a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Antonio Nelson's going to be his name.
That's their head coach.
It doesn't matter. The people listening are not going to know. So from now on, he's Antonio Nelson. Got it?
Am I right, though? That's, that's number 1.
No,
and
you're right.
he's
He's
gonna be
number one,
here.
and he's not on the roster. I
Look,
agree. I agree.
made the roster. I mean, it's my fault.
No,
It's just
no,
he's
no.
Not on
He's
there.
not on the right. He's not on the roster that we have
Right.
access to.
But I'm saying, so from now
Well,
on,
let's call him Tristan Berry, since he's number 11.
no, but
he's
he's
quarterback.
but he's going to come in.
Oh, you think
at
so?
some point? Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll have 2 Tristan
Quarterback
Berry.
in shotgun formation, a handoff. No, a keeper after the fake handoff, and the quarterback has lots of room. He's crossing midfield. He's at the 45. He's into Hillcrest territory all the way down to the 40-yard line. Big pickup for Bessemer City. If you'll play that replay, please, Idiana. On big plays like that, let's get those in there.
I don't know who that was, but somebody's got quarterback on that. It looks like the outside linebacker on that far side. I missed who that was. But somebody's got to have the outside or the quarterback. Jose Chisholm, I hate to call him out, but he's the outside backer over there. And a lot of times defensive ends or outside backers, depending on the, obviously I'm not exactly sure what the call is, so depending on what their call, but usually defensive ends are not supposed to let quarterbacks get outside them. But, of course, if that's the case, then it would be Tavion Johnson.
Now I'll call the action that I'm looking at right now. Donald Falls scratches his head. He moves to the right. He looks up to the zoom. Because all I can see is Donald in front of me. Here's a handoff over left guard, and a good job by Matthew Walker coming up to sling the running back down to the ground. Back at about the 44-yard line. They'll give him forward progress to about the 41, though. So it'll be a loss of 1, 2nd down and 11 after the run there by, I believe that was Anthony, number 5,
Yep.
Sedarian Moore. Okay. Yeah, I remember him from last year, number 5, Sedarian Moore, the running
In
back.
spring ball, I remember asking Coach Patterson who was standing out, who's going to be a good player that we may not realize that has gained a lot of or has improved a lot. And, of course, he brought up Matthew Walker.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about Matthew a lot, but I'll talk.
He's had a
I'll finish
great
that in a minute.
season.
Yeah, he has.
Quarterback gets the snap, keeps it himself, and he is met immediately in the backfield. Great job on the penetration there by Jalen McIver. for, I guess we'll call it a sack, even though it was a quarterback-designed run, and a loss all the way back to the 46-yard line, loss of 6 on the sack by McIver, and that will bring up 3rd down and 17 for the Purple Tigers.
Yeah, nicely done there by McIver. But look, real quick, back to Matthew Walker, just because I want to finish my thought. He kind of, it's one of those things where you're like, Matthew Walker? He's not super tall. He's pretty quiet, at least until you get to know him. But he's been pretty relentless throughout the season, so give him some credit.
Yeah, just a polite, soft-spoken young man.
I'm sure his parents would totally disagree with us, though.
Christopher Whitsitt. Thanks, Coach P.
Yes,
we have a name of the quarterback who completes it across the middle. Well short of the first down, though, as he gets up to the 41-yard line. After the completion, A.J. Quarles makes the tackle on the running back, Sedarian Moore, who caught it out of the backfield. It'll be 4th down and about 12 for the Purple Tigers, so I'm sure they will bring on the punting unit, but actually it doesn't look like they're going to. Christopher Whitsitt. You got a pen? I can write that down.
Yeah, there you go. Go for it.
Okay.
Look, but here's the thing, Brent. If you're Bessemer City and you get it into Hillcrest territory, why are you going to punt it? You might as well go for it.
That's true. Yeah, take your chances. I agree. It's 4th and 12, and the odds aren't great, but you know what? Here comes the punting unit. They thought about it momentarily, or are they just bringing in other
they're
players?
bringing in different guys.
Yeah, they're just bringing in a different set of players. And the play clock is running down. I don't know if they're going to get this snap off. Okay, he's backing up now, and he's going to kick it. They pretended like they were going
into the end zone.
And the punt does bounce into the end zone. So here with 2:56 remaining in the first quarter, Hillcrest leading 7-0. The Patriots will take over at their own 20-yard line.
Well, and here's the other thing. If you're Bessemer City, you punted from roughly the 40-yard line, you only gained 20 yards out of that. 20 yards is 20 yards, but at the same time.
They thought by tricking them they might get it pinned down deep.
I know it. But ultimately, it didn't work. And so, I realized, look, this is a game of odds also. Like, what is the best percentage thing to do? And maybe the percentage play is to punt there. But, look, one of our keys to victory was not to punt on 4th down, okay? So if you're Bessemer City and you're consistently punting on 4th down, you're not going to win this game.
And, that's something that surprised me last week when Central did that fake punt, and they got down to about our 40, and it was 4th down, and they punted.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, here's the snap. Bryson back to pass, looks across the middle, and this one is incomplete at about the 34-yard line. Intended there for Shamar Moore. 2nd down and 10 for the Pats.
Yeah, a little bit behind him. We've seen Bryson with a little bit of accuracy issues. He certainly has the arm strength. But a lot of times on that crossing route, some people have heard the transcontinental, from one side to the other. And it just seems to throw a little bit on that back shoulder sometimes. But we've completed that, of course, enough to keep it going. But that time, unfortunately, not able to connect.
Bryson under center now. Play action pass. This one is complete to Jamarcus Prince over here on the left sideline. Nice pickup of about 9 as he'll be brought down just short of the 1st down. Looks like it'll be 3rd and 1 from about the 29.
And that time, a really nice ball by Bryson to Jamarcus.
Nice timing route.
Yeah, it was. Coach P, in just a second, maybe you could mention Jamarcus's offer.
Sure.
Bryson Kimbrough under center, now looks over to the sidelines. Looks like the script is being changed as we speak. Bryson takes the snap, hands it off to Jashawn Land over right guard. He crosses the 30, down to the 31. That's enough for the Stephen Fikes All-State 1st down. We'll move those sticks.
Those offensive linemen, man. I just saw Sean Franklin get rolled up on, and he kind of grabbed his left knee, gets back up. Those guys, that's a really not a fun job. But, man, they take a lot of pride in doing it well,
Correct. Shotgun, 2 men to the left, 1 to the right. Fakes the handoff. Bryson slings this one over to the left side, and he's lucky that one was not intercepted. Christopher Whitsitt, the quarterback, also plays safety. Read the quarterback's eyes all the way on the intended pass there to D.C. Thomas. Cut in front of the receiver at the 45-yard line, had it in his hands, but just couldn't hold on.
Yeah, just a little too much air under that. It's like, you almost have to find things on this team to target, What do we need to work on? What do we need to work on? And, when you're 7-0, it's a good thing to find something.
Yeah. Bryson under center, handoff to Jashawn Land, who squirms his way through across the 40. around the 41-yard line, but he's going to be about a half yard short of first down. So it'll be third down and about a half yard for the Pats.
Yeah, I agree, Brennan. It looks really, really close, but I'm with you. I think he's slightly short. But at first, I almost thought this line judge was going to kind of do the old hand behind my back, like move the chains, but he did not.
Bryson under center again. Takes the snap, and this will be the quarterback sneak, and about a yard or so, which is plenty for the first down, and the chains will move once again. 1:03 remaining here in the first quarter. Hillcrest with the ball, and the lead 7-0. Line of scrimmage is the 44-yard line of Hillcrest.
Methodical matriculation has been the theme so far in the first quarter. And
Agreed.
as we're now under 1 minute, and pretty much time of possession has been totally dominated by the Patriots.
Yes. Bryson Kimbrough in shotgun, slings this one out to the left side to Jamarcus Prince. Once again, Jamarcus makes a move, is forced out of bounds at about the 42-yard line of Bessemer City. That's a pickup of 12 and enough for Stephen Fikes' All-State first down.
Really
Earlier
good
today also,
yes. Go
he
ahead. talk
finally
about
got
that,
his
please.
first offer, Jamarcus from Henderson State, okay, a D2 school in Arkansas. Jamarcus has been waiting on that, and I have Jamarcus in class, and we were both saying, and the coaching staff is saying, Jamarcus expects a lot more to come in now that first one has to happen.
If you have not had the pleasure of talking to Jamarcus Prince,
Fantastic
he is
kid.
a wonderful
Fantastic kid.
Here's a handoff over left guard. I believe. Who is that? Is that Jay Brown?
I missed it. I'm
may
sorry.
have been T.J. Banks.
It may have been. It was
Yeah, it
TJ.
was
You're
T.J.
right.
Banks. I could tell by the running style. I didn't see the number, but I saw the running style. T.J. Banks picks up about 3 down to the 40. It'll be second down and 7.
And look,
that's probably going to be the last play of the first quarter.
Well, but right before we take this break, if you haven't met Jamarcus Prince, he does work at Taco Casa. They're not one of our sponsors, but they can be if they want to be. But he
They're
does
getting
a
free
great job.
airtime right now,
Yeah.
right?
Who they're
Okay,
playing?
here's the last play of the first quarter. This one completed to Jay Sean Land out of the background, down to the 20, and all the way down to the 15-yard line. Stephen Fikes All-State first down inside the Centel Home Design red zone. That's the end of the first quarter. We will take a break with the Pats up 7-0 and threatening. Back after this on the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network.
One more time. One more time. One more time.
At Alabama Credit Union, we know what it takes to get it right.
One more time.
Visit alabamacu.com today and feel good about your money.
When the Patriot Nation gets hungry for Chinese food, there is no doubt about where to go. Lee Palace in Inglewood Village. Lee Palace has been in the same location for 20 years and loves the Hillcrest community. You just can't beat their incomparably delicious Chinese cuisine in a family-owned, friendly environment that is second to none. The folks at Lee Palace love what they do and are very passionate about providing you with the best in town. Lee Palace says, go Pats! All right, welcome back to Bessemer City High School. Hillcrest leading 7-0 as we get ready for the second quarter of action. And while we have a chance here, Coach P, you said you had a trivia question for us?
Sure. It had to do with Jamarcus, and I did not know this. Once I was, he told me in enrichment he actually had just received the offer. I let him step outside to make the call, and I looked it up. Brad, do you know the Henderson State mascot?
Dadgummit.
Okay, this is a tough one. To my knowledge, there is not another school.
The Bigfoots. The Bigfoots.
That's a great guess. Henderson with being the family.
Harry and the
Correct.
Hendersons, yeah.
Correct.
Or I guess you
However,
would say
that
the Big
is not
Feet.
it. Yes.
The Big Feet, not the Bigfoots.
Dadgummit.
We will reveal it
Oh, okay,
after this
okay,
play
yeah, okay.
because the snap's impending.
Henderson State.
Christopher Whitsitt is the
Checking to
quarterback.
make sure Brad's not Googling it over there. He's got Ticketmaster up, preparing for the Tennessee A&M game tomorrow.
All right, Patriots with the ball. First and 10 inside. Oh, I'm sorry, they're at the 25. I thought it was the 15. They're at the 25. Hard to see the lines again from down here. Bryson back to pass. Slings this one across the middle, and it is picked off at the 20. The return man down to the 35-yard line. Let's replay that one, please, Idiana. Interception made there by Javion Madison, and that's the first interception of the night, but Bryson threw another one that should have been picked. Bryson's accuracy a little bit in question here tonight so far.
Bryson struggled a little last week as well. If I remember correctly, he threw 2 to Central. So this has been 3 in the last 6 quarters for Bryson.
Well, and remember, we talked a little bit earlier in the game, the weather is a little questionable tonight. If you are Bessemer City, what would I rather them do? I'd much rather them throw the ball on me than run. So I'm going to load up and force them to do that and see if we can take advantage. And the Purple Tigers did right there.
Christopher Witz at the quarterback in shotgun formation. Does the hard count. It pulls Hillcrest off sides. I believe I saw Tavion Johnson jump across into the neutral zone. That'll be 5 free ones for the Purple Tigers.
All right, people are texting me the mascot.
Okay, yeah, I figured. I understand.
I cannot take credit.
Correct.
But you want to say it?
Oh, sure, it's the Reddies, Reddies.
Yes.
So it's very, very obscure.
Is that like the red tops?
Similar,
no,
as in they're both red.
Strange nicknames. What does that even mean? Are we going to get the story behind that?
The Reddies?
Yeah, if it's on their Twitter page, we will.
Francis saying, bag it. Go, do your thing. Reddies of Henderson State.
Are they rough and ready? Here's a handoff over right tackle. Hillcrest there to meet the running back close to the line of scrimmage. He'll pick up about a yard, which will make it 2nd down and 4 after the carry by Sedarian Moore. Have to stand up to see over Donald's head.
By the way, it's the Reddies in terms of R-E-D-D, not R-E-A-D.
Correct.
So,
correct. Like the color red. Right.
And I'm sure, I don't know, a lot of things are determined by things on your college campus, so who knows?
Keeper by the quarterback. He makes a nice cut, gets it up to midfield. That's enough for the 1st down on the carry there by Christopher Whitsitt. And he is actually right at midfield. 1st down for the Purple Tigers. 11:03 remaining here in the 1st half. Hillcrest up 7-0.
That felt like a busted play to me. Like, it almost looked like Whitsitt was looking for somebody to have a read option with. Nobody really came at the mesh point, and so Whitsitt just kept it, came around left end, and, of course, picked up pretty good yardage. But sometimes the ones you pick up the most yardage on are the ones that you don't anticipate because everybody's going the wrong way.
Yep, true. Kind of change the momentum and catch people on their back foot.
Absolutely.
All right, Whitsitt in shotgun. Sedarian Moore is the running back behind him. Whoa, and it's a bad snap. Actually, it's not Whitsitt. The freshman in the game, Tristan Berry, the snap was off to his left. He has to chase it all the way back to the 38-yard line, and that's going to be a loss of 12 for the Purple Tigers, and it'll be 2nd down and 22.
Whitsitt likely will come back in here. He had to go off for a play. His helmet came off on the previous run.
Okay.
And so Tristan Berry came in. I knew Tristan Berry was going to get in tonight. I foresaw that. But
you're a soothsayer.
Timeout Hillcrest looks like. So another Jason Tidwell paint and body timeout, but this time by the Hillcrest Patriots.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks for giving us an opportunity to take a break here. We will. Hillcrest up 7-0, 10:01 remaining in the half. Back after this on the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network.
Serving the University of Alabama alumni, students, and fans since 1939, Bama Stuff is the perfect place for all your Bama merchandise needs. They have a large selection of Nike official on-field apparel, as well as everything you need for the perfect game day experience. Come see our exclusive in-house designed Bama apparel and souvenirs to help you stand out. Located on the heart of the Strip on University Boulevard, in the shadow of Bryant-Denny. They're open 7 days a week or shop online anytime at BamaStuff.com. Bama Stuff is proud to be UA alumni and veteran owned and operated.
And welcome back. And Brad Armstrong is ready with the Ready story.
Again, thanks to our crack statistician. I don't even know.
I guess this could be a Guthrie stat line stat, right?
Yeah. Frances Sandbaggett is definitely our go-to. Remember, now she's the principal at Maxwell Elementary. So thanks again to Fab is what we like to call her. But the Reddies, I'll let you call this play and then give me a chance to read through this and tell you what we got.
All right, sounds good. And it looks like the quarterback is still Tristan Berry in the game for the Purple Tigers. The freshman, he takes the snap, he drops back, scans the field, throws a little screen pass, and Whitsitt was still in the game, but Whitsitt has moved to the wide receiver position, and Whitsitt has by far been the most dangerous player on the field for the Purple Tigers so far as he fights his way forward, twists and spins, and moves it all the way down to the 45-yard line of Hillcrest, and that's a pickup of about 15 yards, and it makes it a manageable 3rd down now for the Purple Tigers at 3rd and about 6.
Okay, this is not. Well,
Not
no,
yet,
no.
not yet.
I was going to say no, not yet.
We'll
Nope.
get to it.
Yep.
When we're ready.
Yeah.
All right, here's quarterback back to pass, and this one is picked
what
off
a play.
by Luke Williams.
Wow.
Evan
Evan Williams.
Luke, I called him Luke, sorry. Evan Williams picks it off at the 50-yard line, just reaches up into the air and takes that one out of mid-flight. Hillcrest with the ball back, now in Purple Tiger territory, returning the favor on the interception. What a play there by Evan Williams.
What a great play. And also, it was a momentum shifter because, look, you're talking about Bessemer City has run a couple plays. They kind of had a broken one, turned into a really positive play for the Purple Tigers. And the momentum felt like Bessemer City has got a lot going on this drive. Evan does a lot on that play to shift the momentum. You know, after the turnover by Bryson Kimbrough, Hillcrest defense had to answer. And number 14 outside, or middle linebacker, Evan Williams right there, came up with a really good response.
Brent, how far away was he from that ball? It
Not
couldn't
far.
have been more
He
than
was-
2-3 yards.
Yeah, he was running
Yes.
upfield
Like
toward
we
the
could see
quarterback
on the
and then just
replay.
reached up, just
Absolutely.
stabbed his hands up in the air and took
It's
it
an
as the
incredible
ball was on
skill.
the rise.
That's it.
The ball was on the rise when he plucked it out of the air. It was pretty amazing.
Amazing. That was pretty good. For real.
Bryson Kimbrough in shotgun, takes the snap, drops back, slings it out to the right side, complete there to Caden Smith. Caden makes a nice move, past the first down sticks, down to the 26-yard line, enough for a Stephen Fikes All-State first down for the Pats.
I really like that call. And that, whether it's scripted or not, and it just so happens to fall in line, I don't know. But after the interception, what's the first play call? A pass. You've got to get out there and keep going. There's no way you can sit around and pout about it. Of course, Bryson's not much of a pouter. But at the same time, you want to show that you got confidence. Threw another ball that was right on target. Really nicely done by Kimbrough there.
Here's a snap and a jet sweep to Caden Smith, who's becoming more and more involved in this offense. Nice pickup by Caden of about 7. And it'll be 2nd down and 3 for the Pats.
Again, Caden Smith, an integral part of the Hillcrest offense.
Getting more and more involved every week,
I tell you
too.
what, I heard somebody on the news the other day use that word, and they said integral.
I've heard it pronounced like that before.
Well,
Really?
I feel like
I have.
then
Okay. I don't
feel
think
like
it's
that-
right, but
yeah, I
I've
was
heard it
gonna say,
before.
Then I feel like we heard wrong. That's what I feel like.
It's incorrect.
But whatever the case
It's
is, that's true.
incorrect.
He is an integral part of the Hillcrest offense.
Becoming integral.
Yeah.
Jay Brown is deep in the I formation. Bryson under center. Here's the handoff to Jay. Jay up the gut, and nobody's stopping him. He pounds his way into the end zone. Touchdown Patriots on the score of 26 yards by Jay Brown.
Nicely done. I love how Hillcrest complimented, very complimentary on that drive. Outside, 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 bust them inside. And so anytime, remember now, one of the staples of this Jamie Mitchell offense, great guys, this situation is inside run game. We've called Belly G a lot, but you've got to be able to run the ball on the inside. Keeps everybody honest. But when you have speed sweep, outside toss, when you have, outside throw game, the linebackers have to start honoring that. Well, then all of a sudden you got it up the middle. You're good to go.
Dr. Brandy Patterson extra point is up by Hudson Hall, and it is good. Patriots extend the lead to 14-0. 8:51 remaining in the second quarter.
I want to hear why they're the readies.
yeah,
I've been waiting.
It's taking us a while.
Like, I'm
let's
ready
get through
for
that.
this.
Come on.
Okay,
We're ready for the ready story.
Okay. Look,
Ready,
I'll read
set,
through-
go.
Okay, I'll read through
How
this.
many times can I say ready?
In 1905 until 1908, the varsity 11 was simply known as the Henderson football team. In 1908, they wanted to give a name. So the initial name of the Henderson, by the Henderson Oracle newspaper, said that they would be called the Red Jackets, okay? Indicative of the color of the jerseys. However, they referred to them only as the Red Men or the Reds. Eventually, in 1913, the Star Yearbook that's at Henderson State featured the team in a story and called them the Red Jacket season. But eventually, they just shortened it to Reddies.
Okay.
Red Jackets
Okay.
and Reds got shortened. Basically, they just became the Reddies,
Okay.
and that's where they came from.
That's very similar to the Cincinnati Redlegs.
That's
right?
true.
Mhm.
The Red
They
Stockings,
just
the
became
Red
the
Legs.
Reds.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, here we are with the Harwood Real Estate kickoff from Hudson Hall. Kick is in the air. It's deep, fielded at about the 5-yard line. Sedarian Moore on the return, and he'll be stopped short of the 20. We'll call him right at the 20. And the Purple Tigers will be starting this drive right there. Should we call them the Perpies? Perpies?
No, we
Since
should
they're
not.
Purple
No,
Tigers?
no,
We're short-
no,
I'm good
absolutely
with
not.
Purple Tigers.
The
I'm good
Perps?
with Purple Tigers.
We should
Perps,
not
the
call them the
Perpies?
Perpies.
Perpies.
Baker chiming in, trying to defend you. Good for you, Baker, defending your father.
I'm going to warn you, he has a very similar sense of humor to
Well,
me. So if
I'll
you're
tell you
around
what.
him much, beware.
Well, that's good. That's good. My son, however, would totally just rip me.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Yeah. He would not defend me at all, I promise. Although he has been defending me to his mother lately.
okay, nice.
so glad.
Nice. Got an ally there. Christopher Whitsitt takes the snap, hands it off to Cedarian Moore, and Cedarian's got nowhere to go as he's met by that Hillcrest defensive line, and he loses about a yard. Maybe they'll give him forward progress back to the original line of scrimmage, but it's going to be 2nd down and 10 or 11. Now they actually mark him back a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11.
By the way, thanks again to all of our, we have a lot of loyal listeners, and you guys always come through for us. I know it may seem small, but to us it means a lot because we really work hard to try to bring you the game. It's really you, the loyal listener, that we're doing this for. You're why we do this,
serious.
people. You're why we do this. And I'm telling you, at this time,
Tears streaming down his cheek.
You're going to have to read the message you got. My God, you're getting voices breaking.
Christopher Whitsitt and a fumble by Cedarian Moore. Did he get back on it? I don't know. There's a scramble for the ball, and it's picked up by Christopher Whitsitt, and he's running around left end, 45, 50, 45 of Hillcrest, and out of bounds at the 39, and I think that's legit, guys. Nobody was on the ball. Christopher Whitsitt saw it there, if we can see on the replay. He just saw it sitting there on the ground, scooped it up. Nobody was around left end. He ran it all the way down the field.
there it was back there in the back. Yep. Dang.
Heads-up play by Christopher Whitsitt.
Look, sometimes you just got to be lucky. And that time the Purple Tigers were.
That was definitely a gift. Look what I found.
Man.
Crazy. All right, so the new line of scrimmage, the 40-yard line of Hillcrest. 1st and 10 for the Perpies. Purple Tigers.
You got to stop.
Okay. Whitsitt hands it off. New running back in the game now is number 10, who, of course, is not on our roster.
Whatever, that's Antonio Nelson.
You're going to find number 10 for us?
Yeah, it's on a
So we
different
got number 10?
service.
Okay. Number 10 is Tristan.
No, it's the other one. It's Ryan Patton.
Ryan Patton. Okay, Ryan Patton, number 10.
Okay,
Got
the
it.
state is supposed to use Dragonfly.
Correct.
And
Correct.
Max Preps is
Correct.
better, which we don't have to use. In fact, we don't even
I
do
don't
anything.
care what
That's
we
the only
use as
way I
long as
could
we
get-
get the names, right?
We don't even do anything with Max Preps. They get it anyway.
Here's the snap on 2nd and 10. Whitsitt being pressured, escapes, slings it out to the right side, intended there for Cameron McAdory. At about the 35-yard line, it's incomplete, though.
Isn't that interesting that his
name
name
is
is McAdory?
He
That's
plays
pretty
for Bessemer
interesting.
City.
Yes. Man. I think it's like a
That'd be
homecoming of
confusing
sorts.
if you're calling that game Bessemer City against McAdory, and McAdory makes a catch against McAdory.
He goes by Cameron
McAdory
during that
makes the
game.
catch,
Yep.
and he's tackled by McAdory.
And just again to refresh, we're really thankful to you listeners at home. Tell you what, when I get a text from my brother-in-law Joe Edie, it really touches my heart.
Joe say, move it along. Move it along.
Oh,
All right, so 3rd down and 10 now for the Purple Tigers. Whitsitt back to pass, slings it across the middle, and almost picked off. Still in the air, bounces up in the air, and it is picked off by the Patriots, number 17, C.J. Buckner.
man, that ball, that looked like a tip drill. It was tipped twice.
The range of
It was like a
emotions right there.
volleyball
Was it
point.
Barkley Crawford to tip
It was either he or
Let's
Evan
take a
Williams.
look at it. It was like a volleyball point. Evan
That was
tapped
Evan,
it,
then Barkley.
and then caught
yeah.
by C.J. Wow.
Man, tip drill, boys, tip drill. That's what you do the tip drill for.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things. It's so funny because how often does the tip drill actually come into play?
Twice a season,
Yeah,
maybe?
I know.
Yeah, but
it
occasionally.
came in. I would like to keep that in my pocket
It was
for the
like
second time.
It was like a set and a spike,
It
right?
was. It sure was. But look, turnovers.
You like that description, Adiana? You get a volleyball shout out there, right?
Turnovers aplenty tonight, and I think
Yeah.
the weather has had something to do with it. Of course,
Yeah.
it's starting to clear up a little bit now.
Still a little bit foggy and misty, though. It looks like Hillcrest might have moved before the snap.
Just a
It'll
little
be a
bit.
false start against Hillcrest. Back it up 5 yards.
Just a tad.
Who are these guys you're watching here?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not really watching them. I'm just looking for scores.
Any Mountain Brook Parker score possibly?
I'm
okay.
pulling that up. Yep. And look, again, I used the thing from the State Athletic Association, but Brian, you used Score Stream.
I will see if I can find it
I'm
on Score
Scorebook
Stream.
Live. Mine usually is pretty accurate, but it's a little bit delayed on what yours is. Yours is a little quicker usually.
Mountain Brook's up 7-0, and I believe Mountain Brook is hosting early second quarter.
Yep, that's right.
Bryson Kimbrough under center, hands it off to Jay Brown over left guard. Jay will move it forward to about the 31-yard line. Pickup of 3 there for Jay, and it'll be 3rd down and 7. Well, no, I'm sorry. It's a pickup of about 8 because it was 1st and 15. So now it's 2nd down and 7 for the Pats.
6 minutes to play. Isn't this feels like the game hasn't gone? I don't know. It feels pretty normal. Sometimes games
Feels
feel
a
like
little
they're
quick
fast.
to me. Feels like that first quarter was not last week fast, but still pretty fast.
Last week was really fast.
Yeah. Bryson under center, Jay Brown in at the tailback position, I formation, fakes the handoff to Jay, looks toward the right side of the field, and it is caught by Jackson Henderson at the 45-yard line. He moves it forward to the 41. Big pickup on the play, and another Stephen Fikes All-State first down for the Pats.
Jackson Henderson, a really big target out there. He's probably a legit 6'3", 6'4". Ran a nice route. Looked like he's up the far side seam. Nicely done. And Bryson, right on target, guys.
Yep.
Look, that's something that we got to start taking note of because, there's been a few times where
he's been a little bit off.
A little bit off. Yeah. Not all night, though.
Almost hit him in stride there. He had to turn around for it a little bit, but it was a nice pass. And here's another false start, I believe, by the Patriots, and that's the kind of thing that keeps Jamie Mitchell up at night.
Don't you feel like that we've thrown the ball more tonight than we normally would?
Yeah,
I agree.
This feels like we've thrown the ball maybe, half over again, 1.5 times more than we normally would.
I have a theory about that. You know how the plays are scripted? They're thinking we got to get this passing game up and running a little bit better as the season progresses. We get close to the playoff. Let's script a bunch of passing.
Is that a theory, or are you trying to say that you know some inside information?
I'm going to guess, based on my conversation with those two coaches, and speaking of passing, here's a completion to D.C. Thomas, and he is in the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots. The touchdown pass of 46 yards from Bryson Kimbrough.
I got to say one thing. I have DC in class today. I predict there's something every game that happens to a player in my class. This prediction this morning was DC would catch a 48-yard touchdown.
Well,
so I was one off.
No,
I was one off.
It was 46.
Well, you know what? We're going one the other way, by gosh. It's 48 in my book.
I cannot believe that. You know what? 2 yards off,
Both of you are just soothsayers tonight, right?
We're going to go get lottery tickets right after this.
Absolutely.
Of course, after the Powerball winner has been.
I think those soothsayer credentials have to come away after we look at your college picks results from last week.
That's at halftime. We can gloat for 540.
This week.
Okay, I got you. All right, so the Dr. Brandy Patterson of Brookwood Women's Health Center extra point coming your way now as soon as an injured player from Bessemer City. That's Christopher Whitsitt.
Sure is.
Who is hobbling off the field. Doesn't look like he's going off under his own power, so I expect to see him back, just guessing from that. But he is headed off to the sideline. So here we go with the Dr. Brandy Patterson extra point attempt coming from Hudson Hall. 5:40 remaining in the game. Hillcrest has extended the lead to 20-0 now. You like the way Dr. Patterson is up there sitting in the upright.
Perfect.
It's perfect. I mean, she is sponsoring the extra point. She can sit wherever she wants.
Looks like she could block it if she wanted to,
Can we
right?
put her on the crossbar? That would be great.
You have to get it past her.
Okay.
We should have an animated thing of her, like, blocking.
She would love that. She would love to put
We'll do that. But, Brandy, that's going to cost you. It's going to be more expensive. We're certainly going to charge you for that.
Well, the extra point is good, by the way. 21-0 Patriots.
By the way, what are you talking about? The most important part of this has been
I mean, I never said whether it was good or not.
Oh, okay.
I just started talking about her being animated and blocking the points.
Oh, man.
All right. So now, Harwood Real Estate Kickoff coming your way. We have the nice little H logo for Kim Harwood and her real estate up in the right-hand corner that you will see here momentarily. Kim Harwood, of course, a classmate of mine, class of 1983 at some local school.
At Collins Riverside.
Yeah, at a different
local
school.
The Tigers of
Local
Collins
school I'm not
Riverside.
allowed to
Collins
Tuscaloosa
Riverside
County
Tigers.
Tuscaloosa County High, okay,
Oh.
in case you didn't know. That's
Oh.
my alma mater.
The school in Northport.
That's right. All right, Hudson Hall, toe to leather. Kick bounces at the 10 and is
that's in play.
fielded at the 1-yard line, scooped off the ground, and he'll be brought down at about the 14. I saw Jay Banks down there making the tackle. Wow, that was a dangerous play for the Purple Tigers right there.
Really dangerous. You know, and a lot of times you talk. If you're the return guys, there are multiple returners. So you've got to make a call. You know, TJ, you take it, or something. There's got to be some sort of communication, right? And it looks like Bessemer City just didn't communicate. The ball is over the head of the guy who thinks he's going to return it, and he thinks, okay, somebody else is going to get it.
Yeah.
The other guy just doesn't get it, and then all of a sudden the ball is sitting there.
And when the ball hit the ground, they were wishing it to go across the
Yeah.
goal line, but it seemed to stop right before it got the goal line. They were like,
Did
oh
a
my
little
gosh, I got to pick this
ball
up.
back up
Yeah.
right there, you know?
The field's kind of wet, though, so the ball's not really bouncing that well out there. Kind of dying. Okay, wow. Coming in to make the tackle on the handoff for the Pats very quickly is, who was that? Couldn't catch the number, but anyway, it was a nice play. Coming in to make the tackle, I believe it was the Pats' big number 97, and of course that's McIver coming in. Great penetration and a loss on the play of about 2. It'll be second down and 8. The quarterback still in the game for the Purple Tigers is the freshman, Tristan Berry.
And Whitsitt just came back in.
Whitsitt just came
Yep,
back in.
he
Okay,
just came
it's
back
Berry
in.
on that last play. Now Whitsitt back in the game. He takes the snap, handoff around left end. What a great job. Coming up to
TJ.
make the tackle, TJ Banks showing his speed as it looked like the running back had the corner, but he did not, and he's tackled short of the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss of 1. It'll be third down and 14.
Guys, I find TJ to be deceptively fast.
Yeah.
He doesn't always look very fast, maybe because he's kind of a big kid, but that particular play, he covered sideline to sideline from middle of the field over to the sideline really, really quickly.
He sure looks fast when he's returning
he
kicks.
showed some speed right there that you may not always see. Are we in Bessemer or Starkville? Those cowbells ringing.
Third and 14, the line of scrimmage is the Bessemer City 10. Here's the snap. Whitsitt's going to keep it over right tackle. Matthew Walker there to bring him down at about the 16. It's a nice pickup of about 6, but it's still going to be 4th and long for the Purple Tigers. We'll call it 4th and 15. I'm sorry, 4th and 5. 4th and 5, and I'm sure they'll bring on the punting unit right
Well,
here.
and despite the fact that we talked about the Bessemer City needs to go for it on 4th down, I don't feel like this is probably
Not
the
here.
best opportunity for that.
No.
Inside
For sure.
your own 20-yard line, and you're down 3 scores, 3 minutes and 30 seconds to play here in the first half, probably not a good idea to go for it here. Despite the fact that some of the fans in the crowd are shouting for them to go for it. You're not on the mic, buddy. No, I'm just kidding.
Christopher Whitsitt is the punter. Jamison Farley and TJ Banks will await this one. It's a left-footed kick, line drive. It'll take a bounce. Nobody will field it. Takes a little bit of a Purple Tiger bounce inside the 40. We'll say the line of scrimmage is the 39, and Hillcrest will start there 1st and 10. We've already done all our breaks.
We've gotten our second quarter break in?
Yeah, we
okay.
sure did. 3:01 remaining in this second quarter. Hillcrest up 21-0 comfortably now. Couple of turnovers, though, for the Pats, but they've returned the favor with a couple of turnovers themselves in the form of interceptions. So that's your Guthrie stat line of the first half.
Okay, I hear you. Man, I'll tell you what. That stuff's good.
What did we say? We said Guthrie's?
Guthrie.
Oh, I love some Guthrie.
Do you?
Oh,
Do ya?
yeah.
I never heard that.
Okay.
When I think of Guthrie's, I think of Coach P.
Yep.
Hand tossed and homemade sauce.
Yeah.
Both.
They've done something nobody's done. It's country fried, made with pride. It's chicken people picking since 65. I've memorized
Did you
the theme
just
song.
make that up?
No, I memorized
Oh.
the theme song. Here's a completion to Jayshon Land out of the backfield over the right side, and Jayshon has a nice pickup of 8. It'll be 2nd down and 2. That's
pass.
the theme song. Just be glad I didn't sing it for you.
Coach P, you called that another pass. You're right. I feel like our ratio is really, really close to 50%.
I'm telling you, they want to work on the passing game, and that's why they did this tonight. You wait. We'll ask them after the game.
Well, you might get it right. But I'll tell you what, we're really, really close to a 50-50 pass run percentage here.
Bryson Kimbrough takes the snap. Another pass. This one's deflected at the line of scrimmage. Fortunately, it falls incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
The first 2 plays from the line of scrimmage in a Jamie Mitchell drive were throw plays. That just seems crazy. I'm okay with that.
Script.
Well, you might be right. Whatever the case is, 2:20 to go in the half. Hillcrest, I know, has 2 timeouts. Brought to you by Tidwell Paint and Body.
Bryson Kimbrough under center now on 3rd downs. The toss sweep to TJ Banks. He leaps over a player, moves down the field inside the 35-yard line, and he'll be brought down at the 34. Nice gainer by TJ Banks as he just smoothly glides through as he runs with the ball. And it's another Stephen Fikes All-State 1st down.
You ever listen to
smooth and the way he glides?
You ever listen to the Tennessee Titans on the radio on Sundays?
Occasionally.
Okay, I listen to them a lot.
Yeah.
And the guy who does the color is a former NFL coach. But Mike Keith, who's the voice of the Titans, he calls something, and then the guy always comes on and says, "That was correctly called." Correctly called.
Okay. All right, Bryson back to pass, looking across the middle, and this one is incomplete. Through the hands of Shamar Moore at the 5-yard line. Would have been 6. That's one that Shamar wants back for sure.
Well, and it was also a ball that was well delivered by Bryson. You know, we had a post route earlier. We had a drag route earlier. We talked about a couple of those throws maybe were a little off target by Bryson. That time I felt like Bryson put it right on the money.
Yep, that one should have been 6. You're right. Bryson under center, takes the snap, toss sweep, and here goes TJ Banks into the end zone as he glides through for the big touchdown run of 35 yards, extending the lead to 27-0, 1:43 remaining here in the first half.
Nicely done there. Good drive.
He's just smooth.
He really is. And, you know, I can't help but think of the versatility that he brings to this team.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's direct snap, catches out of the backfield. He's caught as a wide receiver, toss sweep. It just, you know, of course, kick return, punt return. He does so much for this team.
Hudson Hall on for the Dr. Brandy Patterson extra point attempt. It is up, and it is good.
Dang.
Dr. Patterson does not block it. And the lead is extended to 28-0.
Brad, you got any scores for us? I'm looking. I got a couple myself.
Yeah, let's go.
Look, okay. You correct me where I'm wrong, please, P. I've got Mount Brook and Parker tied at 7.
Okay.
I've got West Blockton trailing ACA, but the score's close, 15-12 as the Patriots lead the Tigers. Hewitt 13, Vestavia 7. Hartsel leads Athens 7-0. And then that's pretty much all I got.
Okay, I got a couple over here. Northridge, to me, a surprise.
Okay, yeah.
Northridge leading Central 3-0 at halftime.
Okay.
Wow.
Tuscaloosa County leading Hoover 3-0. Late first quarter, early second quarter right now.
Wow.
So both of them, Saraland and Clay Chalkville, both up 35-0 over overmatched opponents for both of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw they were playing some 0-6ers, and I didn't even include like I
believe Saraland's playing Blunt, I believe.
Oh, no, I had that. I just had that.
All right, here we go with the Harwood Real Estate kickoff from the foot of Hudson Hall. Hudson doing a great job here tonight. It's a high kick, and it's deep, fielded at the 5-yard line on the right side. Player comes straight up the right side, gets it past the 20 to the 21-yard line, and that is where the Purple Tigers will start.
Baldwin County.
Yes. County. I apologize.
No, it's okay. I knew it was obviously down there, but I couldn't. It didn't. Blunt did not sound right. But
Clay Chalkville is up 35-0 on Huffman. You know, Huffman has not scored a point this year.
Oh.
What?
They've not scored a point this year.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they are giving up 50. They are the lowest scoring team in all of high school football.
Well, you can't be much lower than that.
correct. And they are also giving up the most points per game in 6A.
Oh, my gosh.
You know who has scored the same amount as the Huffman Vikings? The three of us.
Yes, yes.
The three of us. And you know what?
And Baker and Idiana and Donald.
Well,
and all these other people.
And I asked Lindsay, you scored the same too, buddy.
Okay.
Can we talk? We can't talk about that.
I don't really
Wait a minute.
know
Is that
how
legal?
to take that.
Is that legal?
I don't know. I don't really know how to take that. What do
No,
you
just
think?
talk about she's a hugger. She likes to hug.
Okay. I'm starting to get a little bit uncomfortable here.
Oh,
Brian.
please. Please.
I'll make room over here.
Okay, after the carry on first down, loss of 1, it's second down and 11.
Nobody's listening anyway.
Oh,
I'm
yes,
just
they
kidding.
are.
I'm
There's
teasing.
132 people on
What?
YouTube right now.
What?
132, you see it right there? Thank you so much to you, 132 out there.
We love you
so
We're
much.
so thankful for not just 131 of you either. All 132.
Idiana says it's Baker who's bringing in the views tonight. Everybody knows that he's on the director's
I'll be honest with you. Breaker.
Oh, up to 136.
Yes. Baker's one of the friendliest kids around. I
Yeah.
tried to tell you. I told you every day when Baker comes over from Hillcrest Middle,
Yeah.
and he would speak to me.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, that's such a really important thing for kids to do. And I'm always so impressed by kids who go out of their way to find adults and they say hello to them.
Absolutely.
And as a parent,
Yep.
you should be really proud because I think that's such a great characteristic for a child or any human being for that matter to have. And Baker certainly has done that. So Lindsay did a great job.
I agree with you. Well, she has done a great job. And let me say this, too. Baker has a birthday coming up next week.
What?
Yep.
What, 14?
21st, he'll be 14.
14,
Oh, gotta
Baker?
plug that in, yeah. Yikes. Didn't get that. It's in that my main backpack that looks like yours, Coach P. One thing I forgot to do is plug that in. Yep. All right, here's a handoff around right in. A nice gainer by the Purple Tigers. Crossing the 30 down to about the 35-yard line. That's a pickup of 16 and enough for a first down. No, it's in the small pocket.
Okay,
right
got
there.
it. Got it.
Yeah.
I'll take care of it.
Okay.
I got it, Brent. You go ahead, buddy. If you'll take that backpack back, I'll plug it in.
Okay. All right, here we go. First and 10 for the Purple Tigers as we get down to 1:16 and counting remaining in the first half. Here's the snap to Whitsitt. Whitsitt will just keep it around right in. Moves it forward into the pile, about a 3-4 yard gain. We'll call it 4, make it second down and 6. Under a minute now and counting. Hillcrest up 28-0 here in the first half. It hasn't been pretty, but if you just look at the scoreboard, you're like, hey, Hillcrest is cruising, right?
Besides
part
the
of this
one
game-
turnover, though,
Two.
Besides you're right. Besides the 2 turnovers,
But it's actually been relatively pretty. I mean, the defense has answered with turnovers.
True,
They've prevented
true.
Bessemer City from scoring.
Two, yeah.
Two interceptions.
Two
I believe.
interceptions.
Yeah.
Both teams, 2 interceptions. Guthrie stat line.
Yeah.
Love me some Guthries.
Oh, I love it.
Whitsitt takes the high snap, drops back, slings it way down the right sideline, and there almost is interception number 3 as Barkley Crawford skies for it but is unable to hold on as he hits the turf.
Great attempt. And Jimmy Rice Edison over there on the far side. You see the ball, and of course those guys are go-getters, and they just look like center fielders and trying to take off and get that ball, just not able to come down with it. But really nicely done by that defense. And, of course, with only 20 seconds to go here in the first half, Bessemer City's going to try and put it down the field. But, look, here's the thing. If they do that again and you got an incomplete pass, or even if you don't get a first down off a completed pass, if you're Hillcrest, if I'm Hillcrest, I'm taking a timeout. And Jamie Mitchell, I feel like, is that kind of guy. Score, first half.
Whitsitt is just going to keep it right here on third down, and he'll be tackled at about the 42-yard line, and that's going to run out the time of the first half, I do believe.
We will not take a timeout, and obviously I correctly
it's
predicted that.
It's fourth down, so.
Yeah, but, take a timeout and force a punt return.
Yeah. All right,
saying.
well, it's halftime as time has expired in this first half. Hillcrest up 28-0. We'll take a break and return with the Stephen Fikes All-State Halftime Show right after this. Keep it here. This is the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network. Have you heard about Linked for Life with Lori Lynn? Hillcrest Football's longtime friend and supporter is offering this new permanent jewelry service, and here are the reasons you should give it a try. You'll have no hassle to find jewelry in the mornings. It's low maintenance. It's water resistant. It goes with everything. It's tarnish resistant. It's classy and timeless. It's fun to do with friends. It's easy to take off if you need to, and simply because you want to. Contact Lori Lynn at 205-886-3093 and get Linked for Life today.
One more time. One more time. One more time.
At Alabama Credit Union, we know what it takes to get it right.
One more time.
Visit alabamacu.com today and feel good about your money.
And we're back with the Stephen Fikes All-State Halftime Show. Brent Jones, Brad Armstrong, Brian Perrano, Adiana Wiggins, Baker Jones, and Donald Falls. You know what I always say about, I know the band's out there. I know.
Are we listening to them, or are we going to do a show?
No, we're going to listen to them.
Okay.
We're going to listen to them, but it takes them a minute to get started.
Plus, they're going away from us.
I had a really good joke, and you interrupted.
Crap! Start over.
Okay, you want to start?
All right, we're back.
Oh, the band's playing.
And we're back. There's the band.
Donald Falls. Donald Falls, right? Is that a sentence? His name is a sentence. Donald Falls.
Oh. So is your name.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Brent?
You're jonesing for a bruising. That's a verb. Brent Jones.
But
Brad
it would
is
have to
also.
be
Brent
Jones is.
Oh, whatever.
Or Brent
whatever.
Jonesing.
Oh, sorry, grammar guys. Grammarians.
Okay, we're going to take a break as we listen to and watch the Hillcrest band from behind. Donald, if you can get a closer view, there you go, a little bit closer view there. We'll listen to the band as they begin their show, the Pride of Patriot Parkway Marching Band. They'll do a great job as they always do. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with the rest of the Stephen Fikes All-State Halftime Show right after this. Band, when you are ready, take it away. Take it away. Go.
1.
Yes, and go. And
3,
now,
2.
and
No, that's good.
I see somebody over there on the sideline. They're trying to get something plugged in or something.
Here we go.
Is that Kevin Thomas over there?
No, he's just criticizing us.
Oh, he is?
Yep.
Oh, what did he say? Come on.
He's just talking trash.
Ah,
He's just being funny.
Yeah,
He's a goof.
you want to do better, you get up here and do it, okay? How about
He's
that,
just
all
a
right?
guy.
Actually, Kevin's been a great help this year, technically.
Oh,
okay.
no doubt.
All right, so here we go. Pride of Patriot Parkway Marching Band. Enjoy. Hey, y'all. This mic's going to be right beside you. Just so you'll know.
Yeah, that's all. I got the pen. Okay, I wouldn't mind. I'm just
Go ahead. I got more pins. Brought to you by CNS Bank.
Oh, yeah, we have these.
What do they sponsor our broadcast media?
Okay, you named them as Thomas. The records and games are not. They were not. disconnected first. See?
Let's give it up for Hillcrest Band.
All right, so the Pride of Patriot Parkway Band finishing up there, and welcome back to the Stephen Fikes All-State Halftime Show. Brent Jones, Brad Armstrong, Brian Pirano, and we've been doing the Guthrie stat line, and thank you so much to Guthrie's for sponsoring our stat line, but we are having issues this year with our stats because the program that we had last year, we could access live as the stats were being taken. But that program was taken down. That app was discontinued. So we've been unable to find one that we can access live. So now we're having to depend on stats being emailed to us at halftime and at the end of the game from a standalone program on a phone, and it's just not working as well as we would like it to. But if we can get some stats coming to us sometime before halftime is over or at the end of the game or as we go along, we will give those to you. Oh, but wait a minute. Maybe I do have some here. Hold on just a second.
That guy, that makes me think of the PA guy from Central last week.
I do have them.
Good.
All right.
Batman.
Okay, I do have the stats. So good. We're up. Okay. All right, so you guys, do you want to make your guesses on
absolutely
total yards? Now, with this program, I have to do some quick addition here. So
well, you went to County High, so it's probably not.
Okay. All right. Give me. You want to go Hillcrest or Bessemer City first?
Go Hillcrest.
Hillcrest first. Okay, go.
Wait a minute. What are we doing?
Total yards for Hillcrest.
Okay. I'll go first. Golly, it seems like we put up 28 points. Seems like we moved it at will, except for that one turnover issue. I am going to say 186.
Gosh, that's really close to what I was thinking. I'll say 195.
How about 207?
Dang, I thought.
You're both pretty close, though.
Yep.
Pretty close. All right, what about Bessemer City?
Brad, you got it.
Gosh, I don't think they remember they did have one drive that was pretty well, they did pretty well, and then of course they had the turnover. I just feel like Bessemer City's probably somewhere around the 100-yard mark. I'll say 100.
Real close. The only play I remember of any significant gain was the fumble
scoop.
That I think took it around, and I'm going to go a little more than that. I'm going to say 116.
Gosh, you're very close. 119.
Oh, okay.
Dang,
Not bad.
That's very good, very good. All right, good job, guys. Okay, now let's take a look at some of the leaders in the game. Who do you think the leading rusher for Hillcrest is?
Oh, gosh.
Based on your observation.
Okay.
I would say Jay Brown.
I was just about to say Jay Brown, but you're saying that because the answer is T.J. Banks.
That's right. You're not even close.
Wow.
T.J. Banks with 5 carries for 70 yards and a touchdown. Remember, he had that 34, 35-yard touchdown run. Jay Brown with 3 carries for 37 yards. Bryson Kimbrough, 2 for 14. Jay-Sean Land, 2 for 12. Let's see. All right, passing. Bryson having a pretty good game percentage-wise, actually. He's 10 of 15 for 160 yards and 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Guys, I'm telling you, that first half was scripted to work the pass game.
What did D.C. have receiving the ball, Brent?
D.C., 2 receptions, 48 yards and a touchdown. Jamarcus Prince, 4 receptions, 42 yards.
What was Shamar?
Shamar did not have a catch.
I thought he had the touchdown.
He dropped it.
Shamar dropped it. Remember, he had
dropped
it in his hand.
Oh, that's right. The one that we were like, it was right on the money. That's right.
He should have had a touchdown.
My bad.
All right. So let's see. Bessemer City individual. I do not have the individual stats for Bessemer City. Oh, well, anyway, 28-0 Pats. Those are your Guthrie's stat line stats. Now, let's move on to the County Commissioner of Mark Nelson college college football. I'm sorry.
Let's do the pick'em.
College football.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the pick'em.
No, we're not going to. We can't get to the pick'em first. First, we've got to go to the records.
Do the standings. No.
We got to look at the standings from last week.
Last week
because they are very important and very significant.
I mean, are you winning?
I'm winning by a landslide. By the way,
Landslide. Come on.
Winning by a landslide, and also winning at our high school picks that we do.
Unfortunately, by the way, in high school, everybody picked the same exact thing. So
this week we did.
That is correct.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll still be in the lead then. Okay, looking at the results, they're on our screen now. Last week I was 4-1. Overall, I'm 14-10-1. Brad, last week you were 1-4 with all your stats that you brought in.
That's so bad because, look, before that I was at above 500.
You were tied with me, yep.
Crap.
So now you're 11-13-1. And Coach P, you were 2-3. Not bad.
Get my best week yet.
And now you're 10-14-1. You're on his heels now for second place.
Dude, I'm only 4 games behind the lead.
Okay, let's move on to the games for tonight. How about that, okay?
Games tomorrow. Yep.
Our picks for tonight.
Gotcha.
And the games for tomorrow. And let's see if we can move along to that. We're a few seconds behind on what I'm watching. So I got to wait for the graphic to come up to see. Yeah, I know you got it there, but I got to wait because we're a few seconds behind. No, that's us. Now we need the graphic. There we go. Okay, here we go. All right, so the first game on the docket for tomorrow is, let's start off with the Texas A&M Aggies being a 3.5-point underdog to the Tennessee Volunteers at Neyland Stadium. Who would like to go first? Why don't you let us go first and you save yours for last, because yours is going to be long-winded and ridiculous.
It's not going to be long-winded.
So, Coach P, you go ahead with this one first.
Sure. I believe Tennessee is favored by 3.5 points
correct.
right there. A&M last week put up a good fight against an above-average Alabama team, certainly not an elite Alabama team. I do think it's a bit of a letdown for A&M traveling to Knoxville. Knoxville with the CBS game, I think they'll be pretty pumped up. I think Tennessee covers that 3.5.
And I disagree with you. I think Texas A&M is a better football team than Tennessee. I think Tennessee is going to struggle with that Texas A&M defensive line. Texas A&M, the number 1 defense in the Southeastern Conference, just kind of fell behind a little bit last week against Alabama in the second half. I think Texas A&M just overall a stronger team. Tennessee is struggling. This is a huge game for both of these teams. The direction that the season is going to go in for the rest of the year for both these teams is dependent on this game. I think Texas A&M covers the 3.5. Brad?
I really like your assessment of Tennessee is struggling. They're 4-1. They lost at Florida. They beat South Carolina.
At Florida, boy.
Well, they beat South Carolina 41-20.
Beat South Carolina. Woo.
Well, I mean, they're on the schedule. I mean, you beat Mississippi
Well, they haven't
State,
played anybody.
And nobody said anything about that. And so, I mean, all I'm saying is they're struggling. Why would you say that? There's no indication that Tennessee is struggling. Now, you might end up being right. Texas A&M is very good on the defensive front. I think their best player is actually a Knoxville native, Walter Nolan, the old single zero. But Cooper Mays for the Vols, back in action at center, will wipe out that joker, and the run game will get going as the SEC's lead rushing attack takes the field at Shields-Watkins and General Neyland Stadium, and the Vols will conquer the Aggies of Texas A&M, and the male cheerleading corps will cry back to College Station as the Vols cover.
Well, Brett, you won the long-winded bet.
There's the did I? Okay. Yeah.
Joe Milton's finding his touch.
Oh, he is? I know he can throw it a country mile, but he doesn't have any accuracy.
Brew McCoy did break his ankle against South Carolina, so that was terrible. But the good news is we've had a week. We were off last week.
All
so
right.
get your, we've got some pretty good wide receivers. Dante Thornton, who transferred from Oregon. Ramel Keaton, Squirrel White from Clay Chalkville. I'm telling you, Jacob Warren, the boys are ready.
Okay, you think we'll get to any other games tonight?
Are there other games?
All right.
Auburn,
the Tigers traveling to take on the LSU Tigers, and Auburn an 11-point underdog. And you go first with this one, Brad.
Okay, I'll go quick. I'm sorry.
You don't have to.
Okay. I think, first of all, I'll take the Tigers.
Oh, yes, you kind of do have to go quick. Yeah.
Wait a minute, it's 11?
11.
Gosh, I'd pick
That's
LSU.
tough.
I just think LSU, after, they showed how good they are at Missouri last week, in my opinion. I know Missouri's not great, but at the same time, remember, there was a point in that game where you were kind of like, Missouri's going to win this. And LSU was like, not so fast. And it was on the road, and I just think LSU's a pretty good football team.
Okay, noted. LSU has a great offense. Jaden Daniels definitely should be a Heisman contender with the season that he's having, both through the air and using his legs. Auburn, though, I think is not a great team, but a solid team. And I think that LSU's defense is just pathetic. And I think
so
that
it's Auburn's offense.
Well, Auburn's offense is not great. You are correct about that. I don't think Auburn will win the game, but I think they'll make it a close one. I think they'll stay within those 11.
I don't. I think the night game in Death Valley, or at least by the end of the game, the night game, this was an 11 o'clock kickoff. I'd like Auburn chances to keep it within the number a lot better.
Okay.
But I do think that atmosphere is arguably the toughest in college football to go into. So I think LSU is going to cover that 11 points and beat Auburn and cover.
Okay, so we got more Cats against each other with the Missouri Tigers taking on the Kentucky Wildcats, and Missouri is a 2.5-point underdog as they travel to Kentucky. And I guess I'll go first with this one. Kentucky, boy, what a disappointing performance last week against Georgia, getting blown out. Was it 51-13?
Something like that.
Something like 51,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, it was not pretty.
And
we called that correctly, by the way.
Yeah. But no, that's the one that I missed, I think.
That's the only one I got right.
I missed, right?
Yeah.
But Kentucky, I don't know if they'll bounce back or not. I think Missouri is a solid football team. On the road is the only thing here. Will Kentucky bounce back, or will they still be moping after getting their doors blown out? I'm going to say Missouri and go keep the points with Missouri and go with the Tigers.
Kentucky's pretty good, but Kentucky is always the same team to me. They never show up against Georgia, but they beat the heck out of everybody at their house except for Tennessee. Now, they may beat Tennessee, but for some reason Tennessee always beats Kentucky. And I'm not saying – obviously it has nothing to do with Tennessee. I'm just trying to say I think Kentucky trend is they're going to win this game pretty big.
Okay.
I think I'm going to agree, too, and this makes me go against the leader all 3 games right now. I'll be quite honest.
That worked for you well last week.
It kept me had my best week of the year at 2 and 3. But overall, I think that 2.5 points. Anything under a field goal, is oftentimes just a coin flip. So I'll take the home team right here and take Kentucky to win by a field goal and cover the 2.5.
All right, let's move on to the Razorbacks of Arkansas coming into Bryant-Denny for homecoming against the Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama is a 19.5-point favorite at home. Brad, why don't you take this one first?
This feels like Bama's going to beat the crap out of Arkansas. Alabama's finding their stride. Jalen Milroe is not the typical Alabama quarterback that they've had. Bryce Young, back to...
Kind of looks like Jalen Hurts in the old days, doesn't he?
I know, but Jalen, to me, felt like more of a
better
passer.
Yeah. But Milroe looked good last week.
But the athleticism of Jalen Milroe is undeniable. He's just a phenomenal athlete. Hey, bad snap, doesn't matter, score a touchdown. He's just a really good football player. He makes a lot of chicken salad out of chicken crap. He does a really good job. I just feel like I know KJ Jefferson's stats against Alabama are really, really good, though, by the way. And the trend, I think a lot of people in Vegas probably have against the spread is probably Arkansas. 19.5, KJ Jefferson doing pretty well. But I just feel like this is a Bama game. They win by 24. So.
I will say, before I make my pick, I think you're selling Jalen Milroe short on his passing of late. He threw for over 300 yards against the number 1 defense in the SEC last weekend. Okay? He's coming around.
He just kind of throws it up to me.
Well, he threw it to a lot of the correct players.
Well, he threw it to one guy. He threw it to
Jermaine power?
Burton. Didn't he just throw it to Jermaine
Turn it
Burton?
back on. Turn it back on. It looks like, okay, there we go. Okay, we just lost our signal there momentarily, but I think we're good. Okay, all right, so Bama 19.5-point favorites. Gosh, that's a lot of points. That's a lot of points.
Crap. You're not going to pick
but I'm
Arkansas.
no, but I would never pick Arkansas to win, but I like to think about within the spread whether Alabama's going to cover or not. But yeah, I'll say they will. They'll cover the 19.
I don't ever pick against Alabama's spread or otherwise because I don't want anything ever making me root for the other team to score. Even
I wouldn't do that. I would not root for that to happen. Even if I chose Arkansas to stay within the spread,
you would be rooting for Alabama to cover.
I would still root for Alabama to beat them by 40, right? Okay.
I will pick Alabama to cover.
Okay, cool. All right, now the big game nationally. All right, we've got the Harwood Real Estate Kickoff about to happen here, but the big game nationally is Oregon traveling to Washington, 2 top 10 teams out west in the Pac-12. The cream of the conference out there. That's going to be a big one. You want to go first, Coach B?
I'm going to quickly, and I'll take the whole team and continue my trend and go all 5 home teams I'll take Washington by more than 3 against Oregon.
All right, Brad, what you got?
Michael Penix Jr. is probably the Heisman Trophy winner of this year. I'm taking the Huskies.
All right, well, since you two picked Washington, I'm going to go with Bo Nix and the Huskies, and I'm going to pick the Huskies to stay within the 3. Here's the Harwood Real Estate kickoff. It lands, bounces at the 10, fielded at the 5, and up to about the 20-yard line goes the return man, Cameron McAdory. First and 10, Hueytown from there.
His nickname is
We are running
Yellow
short
Jackets.
quarters right now. We do have only 10 minutes on the clock to start the third quarter.
Even though it's only 28-0.
That's obviously. I think that's right. I have no reason to think it isn't. But
at the discretion of the coaches, I guess.
Short, but the clock stopped.
That's what I'm thinking.
Running
Like,
clock.
yep.
It almost makes me. I mean, is that an error?
That's
I mean, but
what makes
it
me
is
think
what
It's the
it
only
is.
thing you have to go by.
Right,
It is
right,
what it
right.
is.
Yep.
Okay, well, we'll call it then 9:54. Only 10 minutes for the third quarter to start it out, so some kind of agreement must
I'm
have been
okay
met.
with it. I don't know about
me
you
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Absolutely. Although it's less time that you guys get to spend with me.
Oh man.
Yep.
Gosh, we really like you too.
All right, here's the snap and the handoff around right in. Looks like a pickup of about 11, enough for the first down for the Purple Tigers.
And that clock is running. I don't see any sort of attempt to fix it, of course. So approaching 9.5. So I guess that's where we are.
Hey, Idiana, if you need to tell me something, send me a text and I'll be able to understand you better. Okay, so first down for the Purple Tigers, 9:31 and counting here in the third quarter as we started with a 10-minute quarter, which is really surprising to me because I know they're down 4 scores, but that's not insurmountable. Stranger things have happened. Wouldn't think that they would give up that easily. Here's a handoff over left tackle. Coming up to make the tackle is A.J. Quarles for the Pats as Sedarian Moore carries it for about a 5-yard gain.
Looks like, is Tristan Berry the full-time quarterback this half? Because I see Christian Whitsitt, but he's out here at a wideout on the near side.
Yeah, I think they're wanting to get him the ball in open space somehow.
I mean, I hate to say he's clearly their best player, but he's certainly a good player. I mean, Whitsitt is clearly a phenomenal athlete.
I would agree that he's their best player.
And, it's tough to just say that based on the situation, but at the same time, he has shown a lot of explosiveness.
All right, here we go with the snap and whistles. Just got a text from David Jones saying that the audio is crackly.
Crackly?
Well, he didn't say crackly, but he said it's noisy.
Like?
Just a little going on.
Huh.
Oh, what do we have here? Clay Chalkville up 65 to
Oh,
nothing.
Idiana, this is great. You've given us scoreboard updates.
Did you see the score at Hewitt Trustville beating Vestavia?
I did. I
That's
thought that was a
surprising
little
right
surprising.
there. Yeah.
34-20.
Yeah.
The Huskies over the Rebels. MGM has had a really good year. The
Baker.
Vikings of Mary G.
Baker.
Montgomery.
Beating Baker, one of my favorite teams. Here's a completed screen pass to the right side, but it will actually lose yardage. It'll be third down and about 10 for the Purple Tigers from the 30-yard line. Or was that? Oh, they had picked up the first down. Is that second down now?
Is there a flag? I heard somebody say there's a flag. I didn't see the flag, but they have stopped the clock, and there is a personal foul.
All I see is the back of Donald's head.
It's just a personal foul against Hillcrest, but I didn't see any sort of indication of what it was, but it's going to be a 15-yard penalty against the Patriots.
All right, so with the penalty against Hillcrest. Yeah, I'm listening. I just listened in through YouTube, and it is crackly. Don't know why. Any suggestions, David Jones, on what we should try to get that crackle out of there? Maybe it's a bad cable. I don't know.
You can't just text us and say crackly and then not.
Well, he didn't say crackly. He said noisy. I said
noisy.
crackly because I think crackly is more descriptive.
Oh, thank goodness.
Here's a screen pass out to the right side, and they're far away from us, guys. Way over there, and it's completed. And
what's the
tackle
flag?
made at about the 45, and another flag coming in. Pickup of about 4 on the screen pass completion. There from the quarterback, Tristan Berry, to, I believe, Christopher Whitsitt.
I see an official walking C.J. Buckner over here. Now, I don't know if it was against him or if the penalty is against Bessemer City and the kid did something to C.J.
Y'all keep talking. I'm going to see if I
But
can fix this
I'm
correctly.
just trying to see what the officials come into the midfield to personal foul against Hillcrest, and it looks like he's personal foul against both teams. They'll offset. It looks like the guilty party for the Patriots was C.J. Buckner. I don't see who it was for the Purple Tigers in Bessemer City. But that's
CJ
is that two
looks
straight
like
plays, Pete?
Well, yeah, CJ's over here on the sideline and he's playing catch right now. But it looked like he was explaining himself a little bit to some of his teammates down here that what exactly happened. But it does look like he was the offending party, though.
Yeah. 1st and 10 from the Bessemer 43-yard line, rather. Tristan Perry with the snap and shotgun, gives it up the middle, and he's going to go nowhere. Hillcrest stops him for about a 3-yard loss.
And that play
maybe 4-yard loss.
Yeah, that play did not. It looked a little disjointed from the start right there. I'm not sure if the running back went the right way, but by the time they figured it out, that Hillcrest D-line was through there and stopped them for that 4 or 5-yard loss.
Yeah, we'll call it 4 as it's now 2nd and 14 for the Purple Tigers from their own 39. Again, Tristan Berry in shotgun set. Looking around pre-snap. Looks like he's waiting for a call from the coaching staff on the far sideline.
I think they may be milking a little clock.
Yeah. Berry backs up after the snap, drops back, throws it deep downfield. His intended target pushes Jimmy Rice Edison out of the way.
There is a flag down.
There is.
We'll see who's on.
It looked like he completed the pass, but he didn't. The ball then bounced out after, but they're going to call pass interference against Bessemer City, Brian. And that looks like to be the right call. Number 9 for the Purple Tigers, Cameron McAdory, his nickname Yellow Jacket.
That's something we seldom see at any level, especially the high school level, is that OPI. It's so often if the defense does anything, they get a flag, and the offense is given a pretty wide range to try to make the play.
And
with Coach B, if you want to, you can push that over there out of the way.
With that being a long incompletion, it's still 3rd and long for the Purple Tigers. Hillcrest declined the penalty. And now it'll be 3rd and 14. It looks like wholesale changes for Bessemer City. And maybe not. Barry walks over to the sideline as if he's getting substituted in for it, then he stays in the game. And play clock stopped at 6.5.
I have no idea why the clock stops or when it stops.
Well, I can see the clock stopped at, because of the incomplete pass, but the play clock also stopped.
It just seems like it was stopped on and off in the first half as well, with seemingly no reason for it sometimes.
Just a second.
And they'll blow the play clock in. 6.5 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Hillcrest leads this one 28-0. Shotgun set again for Barry. Drops back in the pocket. Scrambles to his left. There'll be a flag thrown. One of our fans is called for a hold. A really big hit delivered by T.J. Banks as that pass was completed to the near side to Bessemer City's Julius Moultrie. And a hit delivered short of the first down. The flag is a hold against Bessemer City.
And Matthew Cockrell, number 98, was real close to bringing down the quarterback. And then, honestly, just for his well-being, somebody grabbed big number 98 for us. Matthew held him. It was pretty obvious. We even had some of the people sitting near us calling for that hold.
Now, here's something interesting. You guys may have seen this better than I did. I saw the hit delivered by T.J. Banks. The down marker is still sitting at the point of the previous spot, which would make me think that the pass was incomplete. But I thought it was completed. Did anybody see the pass incomplete?
I did not. I'm looking to try to see if we can see who the injured player is.
It looks
now.
like a Bessemer City kid.
It is.
Yeah.
Brad, it looked. I thought the pass was completed, but
and it may have been dislodged by TJ when he made the hit, and it looks like that's the case. The penalty was declined by Hillcrest, which was a hold. And
sounds a little better, doesn't it, Baker?
At
a little better. No.
4th and 11. That's not right. It's not 4th and 11.
We'll just have crackly audio, I guess, the rest of the time. I try to replace the cable.
14, something like that. We have some Bessemer City coaches over here with this young man, too. See somebody else running over, so we start. But the injury is not too severe. It's real tough to tell with the Hillcrest sideline, and he is up, walking across the field to the Bessemer City side under his own power.
The incomplete pass. Now, Here's interesting. I have never seen this, and maybe I'm wrong, but if it's an incomplete pass, the spot of the ball changes hash? You see what I'm saying?
No.
It should
if
go
it
back
does,
to the
I
right
was
place.
unaware of that rule.
It should go back to the same mark.
Right.
But it did change hash marks, so now they're on the near side of the field. And, Brent, just let me know when you're ready to take over.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can here in just a second because
Okay.
I did what I could, and I think it's a little bit better. But it's listenable. It's not the best, but it's listenable, right? It just sounds like we're in a rainstorm or something. Anyway, it is 4th down for the Purple Tigers, and after all that, they have elected to punt. Christopher Whitson with his left-footed kick kicks it toward the sideline. It bounces straight up in the air and then takes a Purple Tiger bounce down to about the 31-yard line, and the Patriots will take over there 1st and 10. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot happened there while I was doing that, didn't it? A lot of nothing?
A lot of nothing. Yeah, a couple of penalties. But other than that, pretty much a few minutes ran off the clock, same score.
Yep,
Hillcrest
reset.
takes over at the 30-yard line, Brent, and we're back in business.
28-0 Hillcrest. 5:58 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Something interesting. At some point, Hillcrest has to play a full game. And obviously, for the standpoint of your guys have to be in a particular level of shape, right, from a fitness standpoint. So even though the score's 28-0, and I realize it's still 3rd quarter, how long do these starters stay in the game tonight?
Right. Well, they need the work.
Yeah.
Bryson Kimbrough back to pass, being pressured, scrambles away from it, looks to his right, cuts upfield. He's got some room now. Nice little scramble pickup by Bryson of about 14 yards down to the 44-yard line, and that's enough for a Stephen Fikes All-State 1st down.
Give that kid some credit, guys. We pick apart. We laud him when he does well, but we also say some things about his accuracy when he's not so accurate. But you
we're
can't
supposed to
say,
do.
Yeah, but he can't say anything about his toughness. The
Oh, that's
kid is
for
a
sure.
tough kid. I'm talking about tough.
That's for sure. That tough kid is in shotgun formation now as he takes the snap, and he keeps it around right in. No, actually, in the game is Caden Smith, and Caden Smith with a big gainer of about 20 down to the 39-yard line of the Purple Tigers, and that'll be another Stephen Fikes All-State 1st down.
Quick, I'm trying to get some scoreboard updates.
And I'll
I feel
give you a
like,
quick one
give me
right
some.
now.
Go ahead,
RSV
P. What you
Design
got?
scoreboard update. At halftime, McAdory and Hueytown are still scoreless.
Is that accurate?
I can't tell you that.
Okay. I've got Northridge 3, Central nothing.
Halftime.
Yeah. Now, here's the other thing. We talked about that score. I mean, Northridge is in field goal range as soon as they get on the field.
Their best player for Northridge, no doubt.
Because that kid can kick it a country mile.
Yeah, he sure can. You're right.
So, they got 4th down. Like, hey, we're at our own 30. What are we going to do?
There's a flag on the field, guys.
Let's go for it.
What's the call here? Flag rests at about the 30-yard line of Hillcrest.
Blindside block?
Oh,
man.
okay. I couldn't see the signal. Like I said, all I can see is the back of Donald's head when they're on this part of the field.
It's good haircut that he's got there. Donald, can you hear us?
Really? He just made a comment about your haircut, and then you started doing that.
Started doing his hair.
Donald started playing with his hair.
Pretty funny.
4:53 remaining. We've slowed down a little bit in this game. Let's see, that's Bryson. Bryson in the game in shotgun formation. Takes the snap, drops back, slings this one over to the right side, intended for Jackson Henderson, but over his head and out of bounds, incomplete.
That pass looked to be deflected at the line of scrimmage, which is the reason why the ball was overthrown. So I think the ball was probably pretty accurately thrown, but at the same time, it was accurately deflected as well.
All right,
Real quick on that McAdory Hueytown update. I have it now at 7-0 Hueytown, at least on the McAdory X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. In the 2nd quarter, Hueytown 7-0.
Good deal. Thanks, P. Again, all scoreboard updates brought to you by RSV Designs.
Here's another pre-snap penalty. Going to be against Hillcrest. False start. Back him up 5 yards. That's about the 4th or 5th false start here tonight.
Yeah, and overall, I feel like the penalties have been relatively low tonight, but at the same time, maybe it's just because, I can't tell you a time we've been to Bessemer City when the flag count has been under 20. And that's not an indication of the officials. I'm just telling you for both sides. Every time we come to here,
wow,
it feels like there's a lot of flags.
And obviously that was a personal foul or something against Hillcrest because it's now second down and about 30. Bryson completes this one to Caden Smith over on the right sideline. Caden will be stopped at about the 44-yard line with his forward progress. Kevin Thomas suggests that the sound issue might have something to do with the generator, the power from the generator.
Huh. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Says
it's not clean power, maybe interference with the power supply.
That sounds like an audio guy.
He usually is pretty spot on with his analysis. What happened there, Coach B?
Another unsportsmanlike conduct against the Hillcrest Patriots
oh my
right
goodness.
now. Looks like some of our players are pretty exasperated by that call.
Coach Mitchell's like, why? The play was still in. By the way, the officials were really late in blowing the play dead. Caden was being tackled for about 2 or 3 seconds, pushing backwards, and then had an opportunity to then come forward for a yard before there was a flag, before there was a whistle blown. By the way, to my left, I'm joined by the sassiest bus driving crew in all of the state of Alabama. The pride of the transportation department for the Hillcrest band and football team. Safe on the road, but not safe in the stands.
These are my babies, Pam says.
Yes.
Brent, what is this? 2nd and 40?
Second and Alabama
10,
adventure.
20, yeah, I'd say 10, 20, 30. Yeah, about 2nd and 39.
Man, I tell you what, that's tough.
Yep. What's the play call? Do you stick with the script on 2nd and 39?
I think, let's ask Greg Guy. Hey, Coach Guy, how many plays do you have for 2nd and 39? I tell you what, ask Coach Ashley. I bet he's got one.
Also, at some point, Coach Guy and Coach Patterson, Brad and I were talking to them, and, they were saying, if we could come down and call a half, they're going to come up here with you one time.
Okay. We'll see how that goes,
exactly.
right?
They can't be worse than us up here.
Bryson back to pass, holds on to it, scrambles around in the pocket, continues to look downfield, but now he'll just keep it and run with it, crosses midfield and gets down to about the 46-yard line. Another flag on the play.
Oh.
Back at the 46-yard line. Bryson with a nice pickup of about 15 yards, but let's see what's going to happen here.
The flag this is a flag on Andreas Ross. I don't know what the call is, of course.
I think he's guilty, though.
Yeah.
He put both hands on his helmet, and he looks like he's looks like he's talking to himself a lot over there. And no reason why, because he just picked up the flag.
One of our favorite former players just sent me a text. The old
Jay Bramlett.
Tyler Coleman.
Tyler Coleman.
Yeah, we like all those guys. But Tyler Coleman, one of my sons, and I'm so proud of him. I'll give you some lunch money, big fella. But he said 2nd down in Nebraska. Okay.
Now it's 4th down in Idaho.
He said it's 4th down in Antarctica. But we're going the wrong way for that. Tyler?
No, actually he said 2nd down.
Well, I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt because it's 4th down, Brent. Thanks. Jeez. You're not supposed to read my texts.
Well, they're right there in front of me.
Well, I mean, dang. I'm trying to get
No text from your boo tonight?
Well, I wouldn't show them to you.
Here's the snap and the first punt of the night from Evan Williams. And it's a high kick that bounces at the 14 and takes a little bit of a Purple Tiger bounce back to the 15 where Hillcrest catches it, and the Purple Tigers will start there 1st and 10.
The good news is the punt was enough for a first down. So
I don't think it kind of works that way, though.
I know. But the funny thing is, despite the fact that we were, 4th down and forever, the scoreboard said 4th and 17. It was 4th and 17 to the 50. Too bad we had another 30 yards.
Well, no, Bryson picked up about 15 there on 3rd down.
That's true. So it was 4th and
4th and 17 was about right.
No way.
It was. Close. It was 3rd and 39. He picked up 15.
I'm sticking it to him.
Okay, 1st and 10 now for the Purple Tigers. Here's the snap and the handoff, and the running back is able to escape momentarily, but then A.J. Quarles comes up and lays the wood at about the line of scrimmage. Maybe the line of scrimmage. No, he'll lose a yard or two, and it'll be 2nd down and 12.
Sedarian Moore came out of the backfield, and you looked like he was kind of coming around left end, thinking, hey, I've got a little opening, and A.J. came and closed the door.
Yes, sir.
Man. It's pretty impressive.
Certainly did. 2:26 remaining here in the third quarter. Hillcrest up 28-0. Pretty uneventful third quarter so far. Here's a fumble, but the quarterback, Christian Whitsitt, is able to fall on top of it. He'll lose another couple of yards back to the 6-yard line, and it's 3rd down and 15 now for the Purple Tigers. We're getting a little bit behind on breaks here, guys. We didn't take a halftime break. Why didn't we take a halftime break?
I thought we did.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. We didn't take a commercial break. We didn't take a commercial break. We sure didn't. Adiana reminded me of that. Oh, well. We'll get it caught back up. Thanks to all of our wonderful commercial sponsors, such as Lee Palace.
Oh, I love Lee Palace.
Oh, gosh, love Lee Palace. It's one of my favorite places to eat, period. Here's the handoff to Sedarian Moore. He cuts around right in, but he doesn't have far to go. He'll get a couple of yards, and it'll be 4th down and about 12. Well, actually, they're going to say he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. So it's still 4th and about 15. And obviously, Bessemer City will punt in this situation. Tell you what, after this punt, guys, Adiana, let's go ahead and take a break after this punt, okay? You with me, Adiana? Or Baker, are you running it now? Take a break after this punt? Okay, he's got it.
Anybody listening?
I think Baker's on the comm right now. Old Star Trek term there, right? You take the comm, Mr. Sulu. Here's the snap. Left-footed squib kick is away. It's out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. Hillcrest will take over there. Back after this. This is the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network.
55 years of blood, sweat, and tears, we rolled into one. And hand-tossed in a homemade sauce, well, they did something nobody's done. It's a late-night itch and a game day tradition. It's Sunday after church. From Tennessee to Florida, Mississippi to Georgia, we keep putting our chicken first, and it's golden fried and made with pride. It's the chicken people speaking since 65. It's Guthrie's chicken.
Serving the University of Alabama alumni, students, and fans since 1939, Bama Stuff is the perfect place for all your Bama merchandise needs. They have a large selection of Nike official on-field apparel, as well as everything you need for the perfect game day experience. Come see our exclusive in-house design Bama apparel and souvenirs to help you stand out. Located on the heart of the Strip on University Boulevard, in the shadow of Bryant-Denny. They're open 7 days a week, or shop online anytime at BamaStuff.com. Bama Stuff is proud to be UA alumni and veteran owned and operated. Patriot Nation, it's definitely worth your while to make the short trip down 69 South to Tammy's Salon. Tammy's is located in Moundville on Highway 69, just down from Family Dollar. They offer men's, women's, and kids' haircuts, color and highlight services, perms, and facial waxing. Friendly customer service and great cuts and color at very affordable prices are what you'll find at Tammy's. Come support the salon in Moundville that supports the Pats. Tammy's Salon.
And we're back. Bessemer City High School. Brent Jones, Brad Armstrong, Brian Pirano. You missed one play while we were gone. A long pass over the head of Jackson Henderson at about the 10-yard line. Incomplete, so Hillcrest now with 2nd down and 15 from the 39-yard line of the Purple Tigers. Here's the snap with Bryson under center. Back to pass again. Looks to the right sideline and overshoots his intended receiver, Caden Smith. It'll be 3rd down and 15.
This is an interesting scoreboard update to me. Again, brought to you by RSV Designs.
Yes.
Homewood leads Chilton County, but only 13-6. Chilton County's not bad. but I just feel like Homewood may be better than them.
Here's
Right.
DeMarcus Riddick, the D1 prospect,
right.
currently committed to Georgia.
DC Thomas comes in motion. Bryson back to pass, looking down the field and overshoots Shamar Moore at about the 25-yard line here on the right side. Incomplete. Clock stops with 13 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
There's a hold on Mason Booth on the far side.
Probably be declined because it'll be 4th and 15.
It is. It's declined, so no penalty on Mason. He'll be excited for me to say no penalty on Mason.
It was still a penalty. It was just declined.
Yeah, but that means
How do
no
the coaches
penalty.
score that, though, right?
No penalty. That's not
Really?
in the statistics, no penalty.
In the statistics, but when the coaches give their grade,
Oh, I'm sure that's a totally different.
that's going to count against
They're
them.
going to count things like positioning and stuff like that, and I don't know. I'm just saying it was declined.
So Hillcrest is going to go for it on 4th and 15 at the Bessemer City 38-yard line, and it's going to be a toss sweep to Jay Brown. Jay pounds his way upfield, well short of the first down. He gets it up to the 28, but he's still about 7 yards short of the first down. So Bessemer City will take over on downs, and that's the end of the third quarter. We're back after this with the fourth quarter of action. You're listening to and watching the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network.
Nation, it's definitely worth your while to make the short trip down 69 South to Tammy's Salon. Tammy's is located in Moundville on Highway 69, just down from Family Dollar. They offer men's, women's, and kids' haircuts, color and highlight services, perms, and facial waxing. Friendly customer service and great cuts and color at very affordable prices are what you'll find at Tammy's. Come support the salon in Moundville that supports the Pats. Tammy's Salon.
One more time. One more time. One more time.
At Alabama Credit Union, we know what it takes to get it right.
One more time.
Visit alabamacu.com today and feel good about your money.
28-0 as we begin the fourth quarter of action. Hillcrest over the Bessemer City Purple Tigers.
A couple more RSB design updates right now. The local one, County
get it.
trailing 16-3 against Hoover.
What do you got?
I got some more, P. You want to read some of those?
Oh, sure.
I just updated those from
Absolutely.
ScoreStream.
Mountain Brook and Parker tied at 7-all.
Wow.
Northridge 3, Central 0.
Still?
Well, not sure
Well,
about
are you-
that.
I just checked. That's the most recent one we got.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hueytown 7-0 over McAdory. Briarwood 24, Calera 0. Homewood, like Coach Armstrong said, 13-6 over Chilton County. West Blockton down 22-18 to ACA.
Tristan Berry back in the game at quarterback. He hands it off to his running back, Sedarian Moore, and he's met in the backfield. He'll lose 3 yards, and it'll be 2nd down and 13. Actually, losing 4. It's really hard to tell where they are on the field with the numbers from being so close to field level here. It's always easier when we're up higher in the press box. You can see the numbers better.
The interesting thing to me, Brent, is I'm able to pick out the numbers on the far side of the field.
Yeah, that's
because,
what I'm trying, yep.
Yep. Because
Yeah,
of the distance.
true,
You know, the
true.
team, our team is between us
They're
and
in the
near
way,
side
right.
numbers. Yeah. Also, it's the difference in the color of the turf is helping me some.
Right. The darker green
Yep.
to the light green to the dark green and so forth. Tristan Berry, the quarterback. The 9th grader takes the snap, but the whistles blow, flags come in. I think this is going to be a false start against Bessemer City.
You know, funny thing is, guys, as good as I feel like Hillcrest has played tonight, this also feels a little bit like maybe does this feel a little like
Going through the motions?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the most lackluster game we've played?
It really does. It almost
Yes.
just, especially after we got out to a comfortable lead in the second quarter, they're actually waving that flag off now.
Oh, okay.
How do you pick up a false start? I don't
Hmm.
know.
False start of the flag.
And the clock is running. Let's do it.
And it went from 9:04 to 8:40 in approximately half a second.
They
Okay.
started that clock prior to the guy signaling the flag.
I don't know. It's a scoreboard malfunction or what. It just jumps around.
The snap and the handoff to Sedarian Moore. He breaks free momentarily, and he moves it up to the 26-yard line. Pickup of about 5, and it'll be 3rd down and 11.
Jose Chisholm there on the tackle for the Patriots. One of our favorite kids. Funny thing is, we like all those kids. And it's just we end up speaking about some of them, more than others,
I mean, that's
I guess.
what we're
No, I'm saying
supposed to be
you end up
doing
saying-
here.
But I mean, I'm not going to say Barkley Crawford, one of our favorite kids. Jaden Banks, one of our favorite kids. I mean, I'm just saying.
Start telling us the ones you don't like. How about
Okay, definitely. Okay, let's start with Barkley Crawford. No, I'm just kidding. His mom is over there.
Oh,
Sharman, that's a shout out to you. I'm just kidding. We love Barkley. Get back there, AJ.
All right. Tristan Berry completes this one across the middle to Sedarian Moore. AJ Quarles there on the tackle. Pickup of about 6 yards, and they'll still be 4 yards short of the first down.
Nicely done by AJ. I thought AJ did a really, and Adrian Love provided the pressure. And of course, 4th down will be the next play here. Looks like TJ's back to return the punt. Now, we know that TJ's mindset is score. And now Jamison Farley
joins him back there. Yeah.
He had a pretty good punt return against Central last
True.
weekend.
Trucked a guy on the sideline.
Sure did. I love it. By the way, when you played football, there was
some confusion going on here, and
trucking guys is fun.
Hueytown is forced to call a timeout. Let me interrupt you there.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
yes.
You can get back
Don't worry,
to that.
I
But we
never
got a
trucked a
timeout.
guy
Tidwell
anyway.
Paint and Body timeout. We're going to take a break, and we're going to return after this. Hillcrest up 28-0. This is the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network.
Have you heard about Linked for Life with Lori Lynn? Hillcrest Football's longtime friend and supporter is offering this new permanent jewelry service, and here are the reasons you should give it a try. You'll have no hassle to find jewelry in the mornings. It's low maintenance. It's water resistant. It goes with everything. It's tarnish resistant. It's classy and timeless. It's fun to do with friends. It's easy to take off if you need to, and simply because you want to. Contact Lori Lynn at 205-886-3093 and get Linked for Life today. When the Patriot Nation gets hungry for Chinese food, there is no doubt about where to go. Lee Palace in Inglewood Village. Lee Palace has been in the same location for 20 years and loves the Hillcrest community. You just can't beat their incomparably delicious Chinese cuisine in a family-owned, friendly environment that is second to none. The folks at Lee Palace love what they do and are very passionate about providing you with the best in town. Lee Palace says, go Pats!
Remaining in the ball game, Hueytown. Bessemer City back to punt, and it's a wobbly punt out of bounds at about the 45-yard line of Hillcrest. Hueytown, at least I'm close geographically if I call Bessemer City Hueytown, right?
Exactly right. Exactly. With that being said, do we have any updated Hueytown scores?
The last I got, and I've been looking on, because I think you found that ScoreStream is a little quicker.
ScoreStream's not right on it.
Yeah,
it's
but
still
I got 0-0,
right.
But I found you had 7-0, I think, on Twitter.
Yes, on the McAdory Twitter, correct.
Isn't it interesting that McAdory and Hueytown, as good as they've been in football over the years, they don't have
a little bit of a down
social
year.
media presence?
Oh,
I know.
That's
yeah, none.
All right, Jamison Farley in at quarterback now. Here's the handoff to Jay-Sean Land, but here's another flag.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
However, flag, whistle, clock continues to roll. 5:20.
We think.
And counting. Well,
Even
I mean, it's
better.
rolling right now.
Right.
All right. So you going to the game, Coach P?
I am.
Alabama
I
game?
am. I will be
You have
there.
season tickets, right?
I do have season tickets. The 11 a.m. kickoff.
It's too early. You going to the parade at 7 a.m.?
You know what? I'm going to watch that one on TV, but I will definitely be at the game. And then
Here's a handoff to Jay-Sean Land.
And the number of penalties that have been called.
Was that another penalty?
It was not.
Okay.
But the Hueytown young man was obviously in the neutral zone when the ball was snapped.
Yeah, they just let that one go. Pick up a 5 by Jay Sean, and it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 47-yard line of Hillcrest.
Now, Coach Armstrong, you're planning to go to Tennessee A&M, correct?
I'm leaving in the morning.
You are. What time is the game? It's a night game.
2:30. No, it's a 2:30 CBS.
Oh, it's a dentist game.
Yep. That's right. Go ahead, make your terrible joke.
Tooth
Go ahead.
hurty. Tooth
hurty.
Time to see the dentist. Tooth hurty. Here's the sweep to Jay Brown. He's rumbling, bumbling, stumbling all the way down to the 36-yard line. Nice pickup of 15. And Stephen Fikes All-State first down. 3:53 and counting. This one's going to be over very soon, guys.
The two games in 6A that are probably the most, I don't know, competitive in terms of record at least. One of them, Hartselle-Athens.
Yeah.
Athens at 5-1, Hartselle 5-2, region game up there in North Alabama. The Hartselle Tigers lead the Athens Eagles 20-14.
Here's a snap and a handoff to Christian Ritchie on the belly G. Christian moves it forward a few yards down to about the 32-yard line.
Oh, wow. I've got Parker 34, Mountain Brook 10. Is that right?
34-10. That's what I have as well. Real quick, also a big game last night in Region 1 when we saw Spanish Fort beat McGill 41-19.
That was last night?
That was last night.
Okay, that's
correct.
A big game for us.
That's right. That's right.
Remember, in playoffs, we'll match up against the 4 seed from that particular region. Granted, we win the region.
I think next week we're going to have to start some Bradkatology.
I love that. It's so fun.
Jamison Farley under center. Hands it off to D.C. Thomas at the tailback position. D.C. fighting for yards all the way down to the 11-yard line. Another flag comes flying in.
That's got to be on Bessemer City. I can't imagine a situation where that was against us. What was the flag? And it's got to be a face mask, right?
You would
Maybe
think.
so.
Face mask, yes. Okay.
All right, so a face mask as D.C. was tackled by his face mask. And he got it all the way down to the 11-yard line inside the Centel Home Design red zone, and they'll move it forward 5 more yards on the half the distance to the goal call, and they'll mark it right near the 7-yard line. And it'll be 1st and goal for the Pats. 2:19 remaining in this one. They lead 28-0 over the Bessemer City Purple Tigers. Jamison Farley under center once again. Jay-Sean Land. Farley
got it.
Bobbles it, but is able to fall on it back at the 10. A loss of 3 on the fumble and recovery.
I'm checking Twitter just to make sure about the Hueytown and the Mountain Brook Parker score. That doesn't necessarily feel wrong, but 34-10 seems. It just feels wrong. 34-10.
141 and counting. Hillcrest with the ball. 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage is the 11, though, after the loss. Here's a handoff to Christian Ritchie over left guard on the belly G. Christian moves it forward to the 7. It'll be 3rd down and goal from the 7.
Okay. 14 minutes ago, Mountain Brook was up 10-7. That seems like a lot of points for Parker to put up in 14 minutes. So maybe it's a typo and it's 14-10.
Mountain Brook's own Twitter put out less than an hour ago it's tied at 7.
See, and I've got Alabama 6A 13
So
minutes
here's
ago,
your RSV
10-7.
score design update. We have no idea.
That Parker's playing Mountain Brook.
That's the
We're
update.
confident. Yeah.
We're definitely
Here's the
confident.
handoff. Oh, Jay-Sean Land fumbles the handoff from Jamison Farley, and it looks like the Purple Tigers have recovered. There's 51 seconds remaining, but now why does the clock stop here?
Just
change of
give
possession?
It could go
I
to
guess?
30 at any
Okay.
point.
Now it's running.
Starting,
now it's running.
To make sure, yeah.
I think he was like, oh, I stopped. Oh, I wasn't supposed to stop. I forgot. So he started back.
Well, he's had a lot of practice with that philosophy throughout this game.
So 38 seconds and counting. I don't know if we'll get another play in or not. That may be the ball game. We'll just have to wait and see, won't we? Hillcrest defense heading out onto the field.
Yeah, they don't want to snap the ball.
Slowly, Bessemer City heading out back onto the field. 25 seconds remaining The play clock hasn't even started yet, so you're right. No need for a snap, although the offense is coming up to the line of scrimmage. 8, 7, 6. They'll let this one go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This one is in the books. Hillcrest moves to 8-0 with a 28-0 victory over the Bessemer City Purple Tigers. We will take a break and return after this with our post-game show. A lot of stuff to do in the post-game. Back after this. This is the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network.
5 years of blood, sweat, and tears, we rolled into one. And hand-tossed in a homemade sauce. Well, they did something nobody's done. It's a late-night itch and a game day tradition. It's Sunday after church. From Tennessee to Florida, Mississippi to Georgia, we keep putting our chicken first. And it's golden fried and made with pride. It's the chicken people speaking since 65. It's Guthrie's, Guthrie's, Guthrie's chicken.
Central one.
All right, we are back here at Bessemer City High School. Hillcrest, the final now over Bessemer City, 28-0. It's time for our post-game show. And guys, I'm going to let you, since you guys have been all over these scores so much and forgot that there was a game going on the field over the past few minutes. I don't even know if you saw any of the plays over the past 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah. I just saw a lot of flags. I just saw flag after flag after flag.
But while I'm seeing if I can round up some stats for the game, why don't y'all go ahead with the RSV Design scoreboard update?
Well, look, obviously, Coach P and I take our jobs very seriously with scoreboard updates. So, again, thanks to Robin Spence Vanderford, RSV Designs. Now, look, some of these may not be accurate, so I'm just telling you what we have. I've got Northridge over Central 12-6. Now, Idiana just said Northridge beat Central, but that feels like it's a little early for that game to be over. Whatever the case is, 12-6 Northridge. I don't have a Bryant Brookwood score. I've got Hueytown 7, McAdory nothing. Briarwood over Calera 24-0. Homewood 13, Chilton County 6. ACA over West Blockton 29-18. Hewitt 34, Vestavia 20. Hoover 16, County High 3. Hartselle 20, Athens 14. And I don't have a Mountain Brook. The last score I got is Parker 34, Mountain Brook 10. I don't believe it, though. I don't believe that score.
I did have one update on Hoover County. Yeah. County did punch a touchdown. It is 16-10 now.
Wow, okay. 16-10. Hoover really is down.
That looks the same as the
County Hive continuing to fight, though, so good for them.
They are into the fourth, and this has shown, Hoover, certainly a down year, but County High on their home field doing a pretty good job keeping that close.
I have to admit, I'm not shocked by that score. I'm saying I'm not shocked that County High's keeping that game close.
Me either. And I'll say this, with Central losing to Northridge, that kind of puts the playoff picture for our region to a lot of chaos right now. Obviously, we're at top, but after that, especially for that 3-4 seed, there's still a lot of football to be played.
Well, and you've probably got a locked-in Hueytown there. But you're right, Brian. McAdory,
Hueytown and McAdory play each other yet?
Hueytown and McAdory are playing tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And
that's still, right.
The known score that we have, we think, is 7-0 Hueytown. So that's a big game. Of course, if McAdory were somehow able to win that game, you figure McAdory slides into that 2 slot. Hueytown will be the 3. The 4 slot, though, has got to be, of course, the Northridge Central game. The winner of that one, you figure has the heads up.
These very Bessemer City Purple Tigers beat McAdory back in week 3, I believe.
2, 3, and 4 is a mess in her region, isn't it?
So,
it is a mess.
One thing you got to keep this in mind too. Next week, I think it's next week, St. Paul's and McGill will play each other, and the only reason that is important because that has a lot to do with the 4 seed in Region 1.
Right.
St. Paul's.
Theodore is in that mix too.
I believe they've already played.
Right, but St. Paul's.
McGill, I believe St. Paul's beat McGill in week 2 or 3. Right. I think they beat them like 13-7. You may be right, but I think I looked at that last night.
I think you're right.
I think a big game there also will be that Theodore versus St. Paul's game, which will be the last game of the season.
Yeah, and I've got And then next week also, big game, Briarwood Homewood. I believe that's next week. And the reason why that's important is because the winner would be in the game below us, and that would be the Briarwood Homewood winner would likely take on Wetumpka. And then the winner of that game takes on the winner of our first round matchup, which I still, we're talking about probably St. Paul's, maybe Theodore, something like that.
It was week 1 where St. Paul's defeated McGill 16-0.
Gotcha.
Excuse me, 14-6. So it's been a while though.
All right, guys.
By the way,
you got another one?
Last update. Again, thanks to
Is Northridge Central?
No, this is a Mountain Brook Parker. Thanks to Tim Dreyfus, who's one of our chain gang workers. Of course, tennis dad, Hillcrest dad. Great job by Tim
Baseball
Dreyfus.
dad.
He's got 10-7 Mountain Brook, but Parker has the ball with 1 minute left on the 5-yard line.
Wow.
Now, he doesn't say which 5-yard line, but I'm assuming
that they're going in, yeah.
I'm assuming Mountain Brook's 5-yard line.
Yeah. Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, so time for Guthrie's stat line.
Yes,
we do have our stats. Yes, we do. Okay, so pretty much nothing happened in the second half, right? Halftime it was 20. Okay, well, let's talk about those flags. Hillcrest with 11 penalties for 77 yards tonight.
Oh, jeez.
That's a lot. Bessemer City 3 for 9. If you want to look at total yards, Hillcrest rushing yardage 240, passing yardage 160. 160 was the halftime total.
That's correct.
No completed passes in the second half. Bessemer City with 102 on the ground and only 23 on the air. Oh, and another thing we need to point out here, another goose egg for the Hillcrest defense.
It's a very, very good point. I believe their second shutout of the year.
Yeah, so that brings that point total that they give up per game down.
It's right around 4.5.
Yeah, was that 5.7 going in?
It should be right around 4.5. 38 divided by 8.
Okay. We'll take it.
4.6-ish, something like that.
All right, let's look at the individual leaders and see what we can do here. Rushing, T.J. Banks stayed the same. He had 5 carries in the first half for 70 yards and a touchdown. Jay Brown with 6 carries and 69 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's a pretty good game there for Jay Brown.
Yeah, nice.
Bryson 5 for 41. DC 1 for 22. Caden Smith 3 for 21. There's my candidate for the offensive player of the game.
Who did you say?
Caden Smith.
Oh, okay. That's not a bad one. I like that.
Caden Smith also had a catch for 18 yards, and let's see, what did I say? He had 3 carries for 21 yards and a touchdown. But he just seemed to be all over the field. He might not have the biggest numbers, but he's getting more and more. He's becoming an integral part of this offense.
That's pretty good.
Okay, let's see. Receiving leaders, what? Did you have something, Coach?
No, real quick, and you finish the stat update, and then there'll be one more thing I think we need to touch on.
Definitely another stat.
Correct.
Yeah, definitely another stat.
Right, that we may want to update.
Okay.
Real quick.
DC Thomas 2 receptions for 48 yards and a touchdown. Jamarcus Prince 4 catches for 42 yards. Jackson Henderson 1 for 29. Jay Sean Land 2 for 23. All right. Okay, what you got?
What? This is also this is a big game for Coach Jamie Mitchell. This is officially his 250th win as a high school in his career. Right?
Wow.
This is also, and I believe Brad had this. Is his 30th win at Hillcrest High School.
That's correct.
So
he's 30-4 at Hillcrest High School. He is 30-4.
Correct.
That's
right.
right.
So this has
That's
been
impressive.
Quite the run for him, not only at Hillcrest, but over his 27, 28-year coaching career.
I just got to say, you guys hit the jackpot when you found Jamie Mitchell. When that opening came up a few years ago.
You got lucky.
Yeah.
You get lucky sometimes.
He's incredible.
All right, so that's your Guthrie stat line update. Do you want to listen to the, oh my goodness, y'all. Jay Banks had 10. Am I looking at that right? 1. there's a decimal point there.
1.0.
I was like, I don't remember him having 10 tackles. The leading tackler of the night was Matthew Walker with 6.5. AJ Quarles with 6. Both those guys having big games. Okay, so we got to talk about.
Okay.
What? Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, does that have any sacks listed or tackles for losses?
It does, but I don't think it's updated as far as that's concerned. Okay, so let's name our players of the game. Brought to you by Award Company of America and Walk-Ons Bistro. Guys, you want to start the debate? Anybody got a strong feeling about anybody?
I think we were talking about where do y'all want to go? Offensive first?
I got Parker scored the touchdown.
Wow.
34 seconds left to play. Parker must have missed the extra point, but it's 13-10 Thundering Herd.
Heck of a game.
Man, that's really big.
That's
in
big
the
as far
Class
as
6A playoffs.
State importance,
Yes. Anyway, I'm so sorry.
Go ahead with your thoughts on player of the game, Coach P.
Once again, I think honestly, it's pretty wide open this time. I think offensively right then, we could go with a lot of different people. No one player stood out. TJ obviously with a great game right there. Jamarcus with 4 catches as well. But Brent, you had an interesting candidate. We see Smith right there, number 15, who had a great day.
And I don't know if this is completely accurate because I thought I remembered him carrying the ball more than 3 times. I may be wrong. Okay, but anyway, so Caden Smith.
I'm okay with Caden.
What do you think?
I like hearing new voices on the
Caden
huddle
Smith,
personally
absolutely.
too. Yep.
And to keep the theme going, I have a candidate for defensive player of the game.
Okay, give it to us.
I always fear this because I'm always like, coaches will be like, oh, I don't know. And so you never really know that side. But just from an impact standpoint, I thought C.J. Buckner with his interception off the tip pass. And I like that, and so he's my candidate.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that. C.J., he's been, even if he's not starting, he's seen the field quite a bit.
He's been a solid contributor all year long.
The best defense, at least statistically, in all of 6A. So I think that giving him that honor, especially focusing after a double tip, I think that's very well deserved.
Yeah, the volleyball reception there. Okay, C.J. Buckner. Okay, what about special teams?
That's tough. Well, every kick went off flawlessly. I realized
made every extra point.
Yes, and everyone was held correctly. So to me, those were.
The only other candidate I got, obviously I mentioned Jordan Hitt. He didn't make any tackles, though, is the only problem.
But you know what? If you've noticed him every game,
I
think that's feasible.
I just think he does a good job. He impacts it,
whether he makes the tackle or not.
Yeah, he does a good job.
To my knowledge, no penalties this year.
He looks like a headhunter to me. He just stands out.
I know this will come to a surprise, but he's a really good kid, too. He's a really good kid.
He's on my list of kids that I hate. No, of course I don't hate any of these kids. It's
I
a
told him
joke.
last
They
year.
really work.
He's a great kid. Every kid is a great kid.
Well, I don't know what to say.
But you know what?
Just got a
We
lot
do
of
have
good
great kids.
in Hillcrest
Listen,
High School.
I'll tell you this though. We do have great kids because Hillcrest High School cultivates great kids. The football program, Jamie Mitchell and his staff
I'll be honest
cultivate
with
great
you,
kids.
the freaking inside the building too. Beyond just the football players, but the football players especially, some fantastic kids. In addition, you say that all their position coaches really hold them accountable in the classroom as well.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So is that what we're doing?
I'm in.
Yeah, let's do it. He's going to be shocked.
One last RSV Designs update.
Oh, okay.
I just got it from Joe Childers.
Oh, thanks, Joe.
Okay.
Hey, Joe.
As of right now, Bryant is leading Brookwood 38-27.
Oh.
Okay.
Lots of points.
Okay.
Under better.
Oh, nice catch there. Nice recovery.
No, I agree. Jordan is going to be.
He's going to be like,
that's okay.
what?
That's okay. He deserves it.
All right.
But we notice it.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to wrap things up for us. Your final score once again, Hillcrest 28 and Bessemer City nothing. The Pats moved to 8-0 on the season, also undefeated at 5-0 in the region. We're back next week for homecoming, guys.
Yay.
It's going to be a fun week, as always.
I love homecoming.
You know what the best part about homecoming?
When
it's
it's
when
over.
the game starts, because that means the rest
all
of
the
it's
other
over.
shenanigans is over.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys at school on Monday. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, go Pats.
Good night from the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network.